Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show, bringing the player interviews you want to hear and the hot topics you want to discuss. Recording live in studio, here's Nick and Matt.
It's not Nick and Matt, it is Ben and Matt tonight.
Yep.
This is a not a normal episode, right? I mean,
This is our first time doing this ever.
You and me?
Yeah. Just me and you alone.
There's a song like that, maybe by, I don't know who, Partridge Family. You and me.
Okay. I know the Partridge Family. I think I love you.
I think it's
so
Partridge
what am
Family.
I so afraid of?
So it's not usual because we actually said it's hit or miss during December if you get a show or not. We're kind of in this moment of holiday season, Christmas stuff. I got family. We got plans for next year, like as in like the show. We're working on stuff. We're taking this time to do it. We're not a big business, guys. We're a small business.
Small business. Small
Well,
business matters.
Small business. But we try to operate in big, but sometimes you need a month off. But we do appreciate everybody for sticking around. We know you'll be back. The algorithms get crazy and you don't see us and you stop listening or watching and then you forget about us and Nick and Matt go away.
Chat says Matt weird audio.
Really?
Yeah.
Only for me, not for you?
Hearing you through Ben's.
Talk, man.
Matt's mic is not on. That's what it's saying. You talk.
I am talking. Check, check. I'll mute you.
Check, check. Check, check. It's still on.
Ask if they can hear you.
Can you hear me? Ben good, Matt weird. Matt's audio is getting picked up by a different mic.
I can hear myself through my mic, though. Like, we're direct.
Technical difficulties. It's okay. Give us a break. We had a few weeks off, so.
Yeah, this is live streaming like old school. Literally, I'm going through your mic.
I don't know if that's the case. That's just what it said.
Keep them entertained.
All right, chat. So, yep. We're back. We just thought we might as well hop on. This is going to be more of a fun little show. We're going to player rumors, speculations, and just we're going to answer some questions from the chat, most likely, and just kind of like hang out before this before the holidays and have some fun.
Okay, I'm going to see something here.
All right, so
hold on.
Okay.
Sit tight. Everyone in the chat, just enjoy this. We're gonna give you a show. We just gotta mess around with a few things. So see this, Ben? Video capture device is muted. Okay. I mean, if they can't hear me, then you see that? Don't do anything. It's like acting like audio inputs there the whole time. You see that?
Yeah.
Where's that coming from? It's fine, just weird.
Let me hear what it sounds like.
I know. You guys, we're going to give you an episode where we're sitting here live actually troubleshooting this. This is the fun for you guys. But we do appreciate everybody for sticking around. We know we'll be back. The algorithms get crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in another room.
Listening or watching, and you forget about us.
Bear with us, y'all. This is just... do you think that's why? It's probably coming from that mic.
It's muted, though.
But I can hear it.
When I tap on
Yeah,
it?
I could hear when you tapped it.
Oh, that's a monitor. You're hearing the monitor. That's a monitor you're hearing. Like you'll hear this too.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you. Wait.
But it's not muting me, yeah. I can still talk. Check. Yeah, it's not muting me. What? You figured it out?
No, do you remember it was showing us default? It wasn't showing us the right thing.
Oh, yeah. Is the right thing there?
I don't see it. But why would Jersey going through fine? But you see how it is picking up audio. That's a problem. Like, it's just, like, super bad.
Yeah. Guys, my big break. It's coming.
Check.
It's coming to an end. It's my time to host. No, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We might just go live again. Or,
yeah, I think we're going to have to stop and go live.
So everyone who saw this is a little behind the scenes.
Yeah, just tell them we'll work on it. We'll get back.
We'll be back. Please bear with us. Please, it's gonna be a really fun episode. We have a lot of great things planned. Some fun.
Episode 170. It is not Nick and Matt. It is intern Ben and Matt tonight.
We out here.
Yeah, we're doing a special episode here. If you guys remember last time I was on, which was maybe 2 weeks ago now, time is like not real when the Nick and Matt show isn't happening. So I'm hoping that everything's connected here. If you're a live watcher, you're probably like,
yeah,
tell us what happened. So it's saying it's connected, so that's good.
I think we're all set. We're all set. Let's have the best show that we can make out of this.
For our post listeners, literally, it's a Nick and Matt show special episode, as in like normal.
Yes.
Okay, so we're good. We're good. Everyone should be able to hear us. Great.
Shout out to $2 super chat. New Mac computer fund. Thank you. That'll go straight to the fund. If
only I knew what was happening here. I think for everyone who cares, I think the audio jack connected to the motherboard. Now, anyone who doesn't know technology, just
skip 15 seconds ahead.
I think the audio jack connection to the motherboard got broke, and so it's like teetering by a thread. I think I have to replace a whole motherboard to fix that.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. This is a hey, how are you doing episode kind of thing. We got a few things to talk about. We got some maybe games. Ben said he had something.
I have a game for you, Matt.
Okay, we'll get to it.
That I conjured up, and the fans can play, which is awesome.
This is an episode approximately 1 week out from, is it 1 week from Christmas?
Christmas is Monday.
Yeah.
So yes, it is exactly 1 week.
You're not getting a Christmas episode, so take this for what it is. Happy holidays, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Here, Ben and I celebrate Christmas. Unless there's something you do, Festivus or something, Ben? I don't know.
Christmas Eve.
Okay. That's a holiday.
That's about it. Christmas Eve. But yeah, happy holidays to all, whatever you celebrate. It's that time of year, and it's an awesome time.
So, DGN,
yes,
got an upgrade, and as in Disc Golf Network, people have been shouting and cheering for it. This is a little bit of old news, but we know Nick and Matt show listeners. Some of you only listen to your information here. We appreciate that.
Yes. Disc
Golf Network upgrade means they are moving from Vimeo to a new platform that is not Vimeo. I'll just leave it at that. Some people care, but long story short, we're going to get things like live rewind. Like you can rewind during the live broadcast. If you saw something cool, you want to see it again, you can do that on your own. That's really good. Also, you do not have to wait to rewatch it once it's completed, which was something that Vimeo had a restriction on. So like my dad would come home after work or whatever, and he'd be like, hey, I want to watch it. And like you see the last hole finish out, and he's like, I want to click back. And it's like, no, come back in like hours. You won't have to do that now either. You'll be able to just like, hey, I want to watch the live broadcast. It won't be live, but I want to watch it when I get home. You'll be able to do that pretty easily now. So with that being said, have you already migrated over, Ben? Did you have a network that a username?
Yeah, for DGN, yeah. I actually I still have my subscription. I paused it until February so I can get the live viewing when it gets back up again, like the Pro Tour events. But I'm excited for this change. I think the Pro Tour is really proactive in making sure they give the best product to the people, and this is big. That was the biggest complaint, I guess, for me. It was like sometimes I just wanted to watch shots again, just see what they do, and I never could. And it always, it always frustrated me that I couldn't go back and watch things again, because it's like, yeah, if I put my phone down for 1 second, it's like, what just happened? I can't even tell. And sometimes they don't even replay it. It's just like, all right, I missed it. I guess I gotta wait 12 hours to watch it again.
Or yes, to that point, you'll be out playing disc golf yourself or whatever you're doing, and then you see on social media someone's like, I cannot believe what just went down on hole 11 at whatever event. You're like, what? So you're out there playing, you go on DGN, and it's too late. You missed it. You can't rewind, right? So like the rewind feature will be nice. But here's something that was interesting. And this is something that probably a lot of people understood for a long time, and maybe I'm out of the loop. I'll ask you, see if you know. How long ago did you find out that the PDGA has a username and password? Like you can log in and be like logged into the PDGA.com. Did you even know that? Like,
no, okay. I did not know that.
It makes me feel better. It's a thing. And some people are probably like, yeah, dude, it's been a thing for a while. And I think I saw maybe some rumblings of this like a couple months ago, but I think it was all in preparation leading up for some of this. Two things. If you log in, and we're going to go all over the place tonight. If you log in, you can see everybody's stats, like as in rating stats, event stats of all time. Do you remember how it used to be? If you're not a member, like you can't see their rating. Like, so if Ken Climo's PDGA ran out, nobody can go see his stats.
Oh,
did you know that?
I knew that. I knew that. Yeah. I've looked up people, like if they don't renew, then
now
that's pretty cool.
My understanding is if you log in and you're active, you can see theirs, but they can't see theirs.
You know what this is perfect for? Team challenge. Because there's always that one guy that was a member like 3 years ago and you have no idea how they are. And now you can match them up a little better. You can see how they played in certain tournaments.
For those who don't know, Ben's referencing something up here. We've often talked about it.
Yeah.
It has to do with like match play and courses, fielding teams against each other, and you got to match people up at strategy. But that's part of it. But also in conjunction with what I'm telling you, and if for those of you hearing this the first time, go check it out. I don't even remember how I got a password like to log in. I'm going to try it really quick. It was like I went there. I'm going to try it right now and just see. And there's a button that says log in now. So I'm clicking on log in. I'm sorry, I'm not showing this live. Okay, it's asking for my username or email. And quite frankly, I forgot my password already if I made one. Let's see. Let's see if it works. I'm guessing at my password. Okay, I guessed it. I logged in. It doesn't do too much that I'm aware of. If I click on my account, it tells me my username, my member name, my PDGA name, membership status, and membership expiration, which is actually in like 13 days.
Yes.
Okay. It can show you things like it's normal account stuff like, hey, change my password. It will show under my account, tournament administration. So it's going to allow you to administer the tournaments if you are interesting. Like as a user in a way, it's connecting stuff. It's making everything connected together. Orders, like if you ordered something from the PDGA, and then player statistics, which is just like your normal profile page. But where this whole prompt came from for me to start talking about this is because with a new disc golf network, if you go there right now, discgolfnetwork.com,
yep,
you can link your accounts. So what it does is it says, hey, are you an active PDGA member? Like, go log in and then like, whatever, like tell us your PDGA number over here.
So it's seamless.
Yeah. So what it does is it looks over there and it goes, yeah, you're active. Now you get the discount. Like half off.
Instead of putting like the
responsibility
code
on the people and all.
Yeah.
And like yearly or whatever it was, like this is just like if you're active, you get the discount. Seamless. That being said, and this is not me trying to poo-poo on the Disc Golf Network or the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but I was charged twice, like within the first week of swapping over. Like as in, to swap over, I guess more or less you just opened up the new Disc Golf Network and logged in, as normal.
So I guess I haven't swapped over then because I paused my subscription, so I have no need to kind of look.
So if you go to the new Disc Golf Network, I logged in like with my old username, account information, and it showed me like, I don't know. It's all confusing me right now, and I actually have help tickets out there and all that, and I have connections too, and I've reached out to some of them, but I'm trying to let them like navigate this process. The response ultimately I got, and this is not an official on the record response, but it was ultimately like, this migration from one platform to the next with X amount, I'm just going to throw a number out there. I'm going to say 60,000. Maybe I'm way off. 60,000 users is a little much. Like, you can only imagine what's happening. And I'm like, yeah, if I'm writing you saying I got charged double and it didn't recognize my discount, I'm giving them total grace till the beginning of the season. I know they're a business.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Till the beginning of the season, I think they can. This is a perfect time for them to tinker around, figure things out. Because if they did this mid-season, oh boy, this would have been.
Yeah,
bad.
they're not that foolish.
No, they're not that. So,
but
I respect.
But the further along we get, yeah, we've got friendships, we've got connections there, and so we always are like, we gotta tread, as like the friends that they are to us. But then if we're just talking like raw as like a talk show goes, the other reality is like they're not quite small business anymore. I'm not saying they're massive corporation, but like these things, you really want to roll them out in as smooth a fashion as possible. They know that. They obviously tried to do that. There are hiccups that come. That's where the grace comes. But we'll see where it gets. I keep putting in the tickets. I keep going like they respond and they're like, hey, sorry, like this isn't specifically like the Pro Tour. It's like coming through this subscription. It's like, hey, sorry. Like for some reason your account like wasn't synced, even though it said it was. Like, we're gonna fix that. You'll get like half price this month or whatever. And I'm like, looks like you forgot to acknowledge that you charged me full time 2 times. Yeah. So I wrote back, I'm like, that's great, but I'm still like looking for this.
You're paying for a month and a half as opposed to 2 months at once.
No, it didn't even give me the discount. I was
Okay.
like, it starts twice. So we'll see where we get with that. Maybe I'll provide feedback at some point. I'm still excited for the content. People in the chat, some people are saying they're having some trouble. So like, again, I'm giving them grace here. I obviously don't want to be charged for it if I'm not getting it.
I'm curious this is kind of a question for the chat. Do any of you watch any off-season content on DGN? Like, do any of you keep that subscription and watch any content there?
There's stuff on there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And if so, what do you watch? I'm curious because
let me open it.
Matt and I both did League Night for a while.
Dude, there's some good stuff.
So I was just wondering what you guys watch personally.
Play with the
DGN
Champs featuring Bert
off-season.
Kreischer. Like, that's not on YouTube as far as I know.
No, yeah, I was just
Catch.
more for the chat. If people actually watch
I know, but the
off-season.
chat's not actually talking to you.
Oh, okay.
You can look for their response.
But that's a good question. Do you watch the off-season content?
Yeah, I do some. And I am interested in the chat, what they're saying. I'm just saying, in the meantime, filling in here. Like, Brian Earhart does this new segment called Catch. The audio, I haven't checked back recently, but like,
it's a great idea, by the way.
Throwing with Gannon and throwing.
Yeah, I watched it. I think that's a super cool idea. It implements an interview style while doing what we do in this. I personally think it's a genius idea.
It is. The tough part, and this is coming from the media, like creation, producing side. The audio's tough because you got to throw a frisbee. You got to be far enough apart to make it like we're playing catch. But then how do I talk to you, Ben, from like, let's just say 90 feet away?
It's like wireless, right?
How loud do I have to talk, though, to like talk to you? So it's not like you and me talking right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, but it's like, Ben, so I'm talking like this because I'm trying to make sure you hear me.
But then the audio on them is a little
The
louder.
audio's close to them, but it's like, it's just got this different feel. It's like they're playing catch. So it's just different. And it's great. I like it.
I like it. I think keep going with it. I think really cool segments can come from it, and I think it's dope. It kind of reminds me of like Hot Ones, where it's like a new way to interview people. It's like this activity while interviewing, and it's not as entertaining as Hot Ones, but still keeps people entertained.
I know someone will steal this, or they're already doing it. That's
so don't
cool.
say it.
No, I'll say it
Okay.
because this is not a competition here. Like,
okay.
If people make good content, they make good content.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a
I do have an
product
idea. Oh, okay. No, not a product. Well, kind of a product.
Yeah, tell me.
Like, we don't have enough people coming through. Well, we have quite a few come through Massachusetts. But like, instead of doing catch, like, let's just like rip drives in a field. Like, let's get a stack of 20 discs. And let's just do the same interview thing, but like just riffing drives, like as we interview. So just a different play on it. But the reason I mention that is because now I'm closer to you and I don't have to like talk loud.
Yeah, no, I think drives could be an interesting one because people want to see. Like I've watched like 3 videos this offseason of professionals being like, how far can I throw? And boy, can they throw far. And I've watched them to see like I've clicked on on the video because I'm intrigued. Like, how far can they actually throw? So I think it would get more clicks just the fact that you can see a lot of these people. People want to see people throw far. In disc
It's
golf.
my idea. So I
It's
don't
just-
know. Let's just fly people out here and we can interview them on the field. So, in other news, I know we've missed a few weeks, so I'm not trying to dig up old news that's already come up, but there you go. Nico Castro purchased property in Houston. Did he say 30, 70 acres? Maybe?
130.
130?
130.
It's a lot of acres.
That's probably most people know how much 130 acres is, but if you don't, I don't even know how to describe it. It's Maple Hills. If you've been to Maple Hills on like 60 acres, right? I believe so.
Yeah, I would say it's in there. I don't think it's
Around
more
there.
than that.
So then like double how big Maple Hill is.
And Maple Hill's not big. They maximize their
They maximize
property.
the space. Yeah.
130 is like full blown, do almost whatever you want.
Well, it's an old golf course, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So maybe it might be 18 holes because 130 acres is a lot. So maybe just think of maybe an 18 hole golf course. I'm pretty sure 130 acres can fit 18, but I could be wrong.
So I reached out to Nico.
Nice.
Kind of off the record here. Like, he didn't say, hey, tell all about the story of me calling, but I reached out. He said, hey, call me anytime. So I called him. I said, hey, you want to come on the show? Like, talk about what? I was like, about the property you just purchased. He's like, okay, cool. He's like, I'm not sure. And then he said he'd get back to me, and here we are now. I don't know anything else. I was hoping to interview him on questions like, ready? What was the price? I don't know if he'd tell us. Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably why he didn't
But
want to come on.
you could probably find it. I can imagine you
True.
could probably find
Anybody know that? How about, I was going to ask him how far outside of downtown area. I didn't look that up, but like Houston's obviously a city. I don't think he's down in the city. So how far out are we talking? 40? Because people will say Maple Hill's near Boston.
it. Yeah, it's not.
People that are like in the rest of the country, a lot of people will just say, hey, I'm going to Boston to play Maple Hill. And I'm like, dude,
It's an hour, which isn't that bad, but
I guess, but that's my question.
Yeah.
Is this Houston? It's not Houston proper. I can only imagine, like, no way. I'm going to Houston actually in the middle of January,
Oh,
so
that'd
I
be-
should hit him up.
you should. Like, get around
Nico,
with
you
it.
didn't get back to me, bro.
And you can implement your driving
Oh, yeah.
driving interview.
I'll bring
That'll
my
be
mics.
episode
We'll
1.
do
Let's
mic'd
go.
up. Mic'd up with Matt and Nico. Wouldn't that be an episode? That'd be interesting.
That'd be an
I should
episode.
try. I should fly around and try this out. All right. I was going to ask him about the pro shop on site. Is this something that he's managing? Is someone coming in that has a pro shop or like a store, going to do that for him?
Gotta be.
Is he planning probably, I'm guessing this is like an all skill level type course property. It seems big, but I mean, like, is he planning and hoping to be like, I want to put a championship layout here?
I think so. I don't see why not. I think he
Well,
might,
if Evan was on here, what would Evan say?
Evan would say he
By the way,
he should do
Hi, Evan.
Hi, Evan. Evan would say he should do a beginner's friendly layout because that's what the people pay
First
the
and
most.
foremost, yep.
But I think when you're at that stage in your career as a pro, I think it's every pro's dream to kind of make like a championship level course. And like Kayla Viska, for example, now it's on the pro tour. It's just every pro's dream to do that because they've played so many for so long. They want to put their own spin and just kind of open it out to the world, their passion, and see like, hey, like I did this. What do you think? And they want the players at their caliber to, enjoy it with them. But both. I'm saying both. If he was smart, he'd do both.
He's going to do it all.
Yeah.
I was just hoping to hear it from him. We were going to do a phone call. Would have had him come in. Maybe we'll open the phone calls tonight. In fact, Ben, if anyone brings up a great topic there,
We'll call you.
yeah, we'll call them. We'll put the phone number up. So let us know if you have something you want to talk about tonight. I'm assuming it's a private course,
Yeah.
as in pay to play.
So
obviously.
I thought I read this. Sorry to interrupt you, but I thought I read this on the caption. It says 130 acres to build a championship level disc golf course and pro shop. So that is his plan, which was obvious, but just to double confirm.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. I was just, again, about the pro shop. Like, I'm assuming someone's coming in to do that, which is a whole nother undertaking.
Which is that's huge.
That's more than most people realize. Like, let's just start a store.
Well, the thing that's tough with disc golf, in my opinion, is like the more popular it gets, and the more pro shops that are kind of like coming up, a lot of disc golf isn't big enough that a lot of the things in pro shops, everyone pretty much vends the same things. There's like the top 7
Good point.
brands, like Innova,
point.
Discraft, MVP. So it's not like you can really separate yourself with your items. You're gonna have to separate yourself with unless you have like exclusive deals like OTD.
With your drinks.
Yeah.
No.
Or like
Yeah.
another round. Super good example. Shout out Joseph. He does he has his whole social media. They have like 40,000 followers on Instagram, and he posts acing. But even if he didn't do that, the idea that you can go into his pro shop and grab a beer is really smart. And I think over the years we're gonna start to see kind of pro shops more variety and kind of like what divvy up and like try and see what sets them apart from the competition, because it's gonna happen soon. Like Disc Golf 978, the thing that sets them apart is they're so active in the community, and they're always that trailer. They bring it every week into a different tournament. That's why a lot of people love them. It's because like just brand recognizability. But some pro shops, if you're just sitting in your pro shop, you're not going to do that well, because it's getting a lot of competition.
What would you have in your pro shop, Ben? Like, let's play a game.
Let's do it. We'll ask each other and chat. Let us know what you would have in our pro shop. So I think what Scott at 978 doing is brilliant. I think I would do a trailer, a mobile, and go to as much. Let's hypothetically, I'm in Oregon. I wouldn't compete with Scott.
What?
But I would do that. I would go to tournaments, and then I'd implement the drink thing.
Drinks
Yeah.
are good. Food is good.
That's a little tougher though.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
But it's like,
remember what Maple Hill did with like the hot dog like machine roller? You know, they sit there like at gas stations, the hot dogs roll.
yeah.
Maybe something simple. But if you're at a course, it's a little different than if you're not at a course too. But if you're at a course, man, I think
Beer's huge.
what do people okay in the chat? What is at your favorite local or pro shop that you've ever been to? I've seen lounges with TV, like a TV.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere you can watch
Disc golf
network or whatever.
DD and Emporia has that in their store, their retail store. They've got couches and stuff, lounge, watch disc golf. I think that's pretty big. If you did the drinks, a place to putt. Shout out to Matt Schlabach. I was just out there in Iowa. Like, there's a place to putt and drive in the store. The drive is into a net, of course.
Tech disc.
Not paid for. Tech disc. I would say not paid for ad here, but we like the product. Tech disc would be very cool. I've talked about this, and I don't want to get on this whole tangent, but like, if I could walk into a pro shop, they hand me a disc, a beginner or me or anybody, and they say, throw this. Your normal shot will throw 3 or 4 or 5 times. We're going to get some information from that, and now we're going to recommend to you what disc we think you like, if you want a driver or if you want a mid-range. Like, I think that would be really cool. Like, I'm going to go to that store over another if they have that product.
Yeah, I mean, right now, since Tech Disc is so new, which, by the way, Tech Disc, I'm announcing now officially. I haven't announced it yet. We'll be at the Northeast Disc Golf Expo. So there will be a Tech Disc booth where you're going to be able, if you come to the expo, Northeast Disc Golf Expo, January 27th, 28th, they will be there, and you'll be able to test Tech Disc and see how hard you throw, RPMs, all that. And a few will be available for sale. Very, very limited, maybe like 1, but it will be available for sale. But mostly it's just more
highest
demoing.
Bidder.
No, I wouldn't do that. That'd be way too bad. But it would just be yeah. So they will be there. But yeah, I think Tech Disc, it's a no-brainer. Like, I think focusing more on the performance would be huge for a pro shop. You need a little more room for it, because it's like there's a lot of discs that take up a lot of space, so it's kind of like you're giving up disc real estate. But I think that would separate me from going to a different pro shop in person, other than like one I would have relationships. Let's say like it was 2 pro shops right across from each other, and I have no idea which one's which, and one said
That's the scenario, right?
Tech Disc, I would go there.
Others are mentioning places for, drinks and putting, like we said, but someone brought up a point like, it's expensive, man. If I'm a small pro shop just starting up, like that's tough to get licensing and all that. But then I was thinking like, well, that's where like collaboration efforts come in to share a space. Like, I'll rent space from Ben's Tackle Shack if you had the spot, right? Like, give me a section for disc golf, and like eventually we get bigger or whatever. Like, you can split the cost hopefully with a business. If you find a bar, that's, I mean, obviously amazing if it works out. Shout out to Overthrow back in the chat here. Yeah, we back. You're one
Overthrow has been such a good fan for years.
He knows what it's like, man. He sits behind the camera regularly, and he knows what it's like to have.
Overthrow even started dabbling in a pro shop himself. I'm pretty sure they're online retailer too. That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's doing it,
dude. They're big, man.
And I think what helps Overthrow is their following and their coaching. But I think they drop some really cool stamps. So
they've got a good following.
That's another thing.
They've got a good following. I don't know. Nick and Matt show following is pretty good.
I think Overthrow might have a little bit, but
no, I'm talking quality, dude, not versus quantity.
Okay,
come on. Like, I put our listeners up against theirs any day. We should do a tournament. Nick and Matt show listeners, like the super fans versus Overthrow. I mean, now that I'm saying it out loud, it's probably bad. Like, Overthrow's like dedicated followers are probably pretty good at disc golf now. I mean, they watch all their videos on how to throw better.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have more subscribers, more viewers for sure.
The pool is deep. But I believe you can we play, and Josh?
Yeah, I think it'd be fair. I think me, you, Josh, Mikey are
those
all
two
around
at
the
least
same
okay.
level, I'd say.
Right, but then plus like a select. I don't mean to like demean by saying super fan, of course. I think it's special to have people that listen. But then we'd have a select like foursome or like eightsome or whatever. Like, yeah. And then we go out and do like a team challenge. It's like a team challenge.
We'd have like Gannon Burr and like Cole Radall.
I'll fly him out.
And then like Overthrow will just have like, their
Drew Gibson.
Oh yeah, true. Oh, that's good. But then we would get Simon because Simon's
this is okay. We'd have to make rules for that.
Anyways,
we have to make rules for that.
The chat said, "Does Simon count and a Nick and Matt viewer?" I didn't even see that, and then I said that. That's funny.
Or Josh, I'm assuming it's Josh. Says I've got a couple decent peeps. But he says he needs dubs to cover up his putting weakness, and that's usually where I shine in dubs because I don't throw far. Right. So you and me would be pretty good.
Me and Josh were talking about putting the other day. So
all right, we got off track, but that's what this episode's all about.
Exactly.
So half the reason people are in here tonight on this middle of December episode is because I typed in the feed name player rumors. I know you're all here for it, so let me drop one of them right now. You've already heard it. Eagle McMahon. It's a player rumor. We've talked about this many times on the show. We know things that we can't talk about, and I will not talk about anything I know about. So for me, I can simply say that I do know that there's Eagle rumors. What does that mean? I wouldn't be surprised. Every time there's been a rumor about a player, I don't think we've ever fallen through in disc golf that the player didn't go somewhere. Can you think of a time when you heard in your limited years? But I'm talking like it's only been a big thing for the last like 4 or 5 years. Like players have obviously moved, but I mean it's become a thing. I can't think of like, oh, Paul McBeth's leaving Innova, and people might have said he's going to, I don't know. They didn't say he's going to Prodigy, but like they might have said wherever, and they might have gotten that wrong. But the rumor about him leaving was right. And I'm trying to say, has there been a rumor? Like, shout it out in the chat or think of one, Ben. I cannot think of one. Simon Lizotte last year.
The only one.
Like, that was a rumor. People got it wrong, some of them where he's going, but like it happened.
So the only one I would think of, and this is like a huge caveat asterisk, would be Gannon Burr.
Oh, but he tried.
He tried.
That is actual.
That's why. That's the caveat. Actual. And the rumor was he was leaving, and he can confirm now that he announced it. He was leaving.
Well, I was just gonna say, but it was actually accurate. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen due to legal.
Yes.
Obligations.
So okay, so let me do that little asterisk then. There's something happening with Eagle, and I'd be foolish not to think so because of the past history of rumors. We don't live in I'm stuttering here. I don't think we live in a sport right now where people are just making up something. I've thought about it for the fun of it. Yeah. Like on the show, like leaking something to a friend, just seeing if it makes it back to us, like something outrageous. Like Kale LaVisca's going to Innova. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you heard it here, everybody. What did I say? Kale LaVisca. Like, that would be pretty crazy in my mind. And I doubt that's happening. And if it does happen, I'm sorry, Kale. I didn't know a thing.
No, it's not. I think Kale, I could be pretty confident he's staying with Prodigy for a while. I mean, that's pretty much who you associate with him with. And I think he's like, but same was said about Simon. So maybe, I don't know.
Okay. Someone in the chat, I think I remember this pretty good. Calvin was supposed to go to DD before he renewed at Innova. What's interesting about that, once again, is it's not made up that something was happening with Calvin. I don't think. I remember being pretty confident myself that he was going there. But again, yeah, that was 3 years ago, 3 years.
Yeah, I wasn't around because I don't remember that.
And it was like, yep, like that's probably happening. And then it didn't. And it was like renewed at Innova. But again, there's actual news surrounding it, as in like there was probably stuff going on there. Again, if something's getting brought up for Eagle, we've said this before, where there's smoke, there's fire.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Here's fire, there's smoke.
Here's my opinion. There's one thing with the rumors, but I think Discmania put it out pretty cut and dry with one. They released the vault. Quote unquote, the vault. And what the vault was, if you're a Shield Club member, you got access to prototype cloud breakers to buy and regular cloud breakers and a bunch of Eagle McMahon discs. It was basically only Eagle McMahon discs that they're bringing back from the vault. What does that tell me? They're trying to offload.
It's Christmas.
If it's only Eagle, they're trying to offload whatever they have in stock because I believe once like Eagle leaves, they can't sell anymore with his likeness as Discmania. They can't be profiting like 5 years from now, profiting off of Eagle
unless their deal allowed for it.
Yes. But and I'm guessing the new deal that Eagle's potentially signing wouldn't allow that. So I think that's why why would they offload prototype cloud breakers and regular cloud breakers when those are for like way cheaper than they're retailing for it, when they could have, if I was a company, I'd store those. Those are like historical artifacts, but they're trying to make their money back before they can't make it anymore.
What's that phrase? It's like, hey, if I win the lottery, I'm not going to tell anyone, but there'll be signs. You ever see that meme? It's like, there'll be signs and it's like a picture of somebody like, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Like just like gold dishes and glasses and not silverware, goldware. And they're like, I won't tell anyone, but there's going to be signs. I kind of feel like this might be that scenario. I will also say, without saying what I'm going to say, because again, I'm tiptoeing here a little bit, that I have other reason to believe it, but I have not been told anything. So I'm going to be very clear. I'm not disclosing anything here, but I'm also trying to maintain some level of confidentiality. But I'm just going to simply say, I have reason to believe it, but it's still speculation. I just want to put it that way.
Yeah, everything, it's still circular. I'm just giving context clues that the whole public has that it to me, it's pretty obvious. As soon as that vault thing, that was like, to me, the teller where it's like, it was all Eagle McMahon old disc. There's no other reason why they'd be unloading that at that capacity, that hard.
Again, this is so funny, Ben. You're really in the fold now, because the last few years we're like, what do we say? We can't say. And it's like last year I was like, please, nobody tell me where you're going, please, because I don't want to know, because then I can't talk about it. It's just really hard. We appreciate people that hit us up with information, and it just really spins a lot of things. I'll simply say this. Based off what I know, I'm pretty sure something's happening. Something's happening there. And secondly, now, where is he going? All right. I've heard everything from DD, Innova, MVP. I would be surprised for there's a lot that's unfolding.
Yeah,
this season. I would be surprised if it's DD.
I have no idea.
I'd be surprised, not because of DD is a bad company, but because I know that would be
and their discs are just naturally flippier, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, their discs are, and
interesting.
Eagle can rip. Mans can like flip up a splice. So
I don't think I don't know. MVP's done pretty good this year. I don't know their numbers, but they did good. They got Simon and sell a lot of plastic.
They're doing.
We're gonna get into that.
Amazing. I can tell you that for sure. Just off of, again, I don't know anything on the inside. Just public perception of what I see. Signing Simon was like one of the probably the greatest move in disc golf history for a company, because I'm pretty sure, as I remember telling Simon this, that as soon as he signed, I think the Envy was the only like disc in like for like infinite disc, like most sold disc. It was the Envy in the top 25. When he signed immediately, it was like the top four discs out of 5. Like in the top 5, 4 discs were like MVP discs. That's not, don't quote me on that, but it was something crazy stat like that, where it's just like everyone started buying MVP once again and wasn't as like skeptical about it.
Yeah, the fandom survey that we interviewed Jesse on about, I don't know, a couple episodes. I don't even know what episode it is now. I'm sorry, but one of the questions was to the fans, how many of you have purchased a touring or signature series disc for any of the players? And this is not even just MVP specifically, of course, but Simon was at the top. 40% of the people that took the survey and answered that, 40%. That's thousands of people that are doing it just for Simon. MVP's doing good. So I guess where I was going with that is like, they're probably doing good enough to sign a contract to someone else, but I also feel like they probably don't think they need that right now.
I could see MVP Crush Boys reunion. I could see it. I don't know, but I could see it. I couldn't see DD.
Simon's a different player than Eagle, though. And your point about how they throw discs.
Yeah.
I'm leaning now away from MVP, but I could see it.
I could see it.
Like a percentage.
I'm not saying it's happening. I could see it.
Innova is another rumor I'm hearing go around. Again, I am being very clear here. Speculation. I do not know this. So, Eagle, you listen sometimes. I don't know anything, but I'll be hitting you up. So yeah, I mean, Innova would be pretty cool for a lot of reasons, because frankly, they have one of the best players in the world, player of the year.
Alvin, yeah.
Like, that's big. But do they, I know we've had some time off from Eagle playing at the extreme high level. Like, he's playing at a really great level, but like superstar level, right? There was a period of time where I thought that was going to be the thing.
Matt, Eagle's dad's listening. Oh my goodness. We have so much pressure now.
Is he in there?
Yeah. Pat McMahon.
What's up, Pat?
Thank you for listening.
Dude, I sidestep here. And I'm not just saying this because you're in here, Pat. I really like you, dude. You're a very chilled down there the guy. And appreciate walking the rounds with you.
Yeah.
It's fun to see it from the perspective of Pat.
Drop the info, Pat. Everyone's saying in the chat.
I think it's sincerely nice to walk around with Pat during a round. And I've done it while Eagles playing at Maple Hill. It's fun. It's fun to see the way you process Pat. So that's cool.
I have a funny story about Pat. He doesn't know who I am, but when I first 2 years ago, when I first got into disc golf, this was like 6 months, MVP Open, I was doing the rope line for Eagles card, and someone was trying to rope off Pat, and I was like, he's been in front of the ropes this whole time. I don't know who he is, but just let him go. And I didn't know it was Eagles' dad, and he was like, "Thank you." But there you go. Fun story about that.
Missed connection. But yeah, so I mean, Pat, like, I can only say what I know, and I don't want to speculate too hard. It's not fair. But I mean, Eagles in the limelight too, so he kind of gets it.
But I've also heard Latitude 64. I've heard all these companies. You know what I'm saying?
I have not. I mean, you could hear them all, but when it comes down to it, the smoke is fire. I'm hearing those 3 that I mentioned. I think Innova personally has the biggest. They have the biggest disc lineup, so they also have every option, like under the sun. They could fulfill any player's throwing style. It'd be neat to see. Innova has been critiqued pretty hard over the last years, ever since really losing Paul McBeth. And they can go, well, look, we got player of the year, Calvin. He's the most consistent player under the sun at the highest level. Like, he's incredible. And you can't disagree with that. I will simply say, call me crazy, but Eagle has the potential, we're yet to see. I still believe in him here, but he had the potential to be like superstar level, because he was becoming that. He was as close to that as you could get. And in some ways, he was tasting it, and like we were seeing it. This injury put a little damper on it. Things have changed. Sponsorship change up. I think it would make sense. House of Disc acquiring everything that they've acquired. Right? It's Discmania. It's DD. It's Latitude. It's the other Castoplast, right? West Side. Whoever that is, I don't even know who that is. Maybe we should interview them. Like, who are these investors?
Oh yeah, and I don't know the investors, but I thought you were talking about the companies.
Yeah, I mean, still the same people, more or less, running the day to day.
Yeah,
Rusco, UC. I'm assuming maybe that's another guy we should hit up. But I guess my point is, whoever's really interested in the money and how it's being worked here, they're sitting in a meeting and they're going, like, let's look at our whole portfolio. And they're looking and they're going, this or that. We don't like this. We don't need that. That could also lead somebody like Eagle to not feel like he has that personal touch working with just UC. UC starts coming to, I'm making this stuff up, everybody. UC starts coming to these conversations and just goes, Eagle, sorry, like I can't do this or that. This is what we can do. And Eagle starts getting this feeling. Again, making stuff up, dramatizing it here. But my point is, I don't think it's that far-fetched. I'll be excited to see if it happens. And we thought maybe this season would be quiet. I'm starting to think otherwise.
Yeah, I'm first and foremost, I don't think people are realizing like how dramatic this move is. Like, people are like, oh, Eagles leaving. Like, that's what everyone's saying. But I, like, up until this week when I first started hearing the rumors and seeing the vault, I would have never guessed that Eagle McMahon is leaving Discmania. It's just kind of like, I'm amazed that if this actually happens, maybe this is the best marketing play of all time. Maybe they're making it seem like it, and then he signs again for multi-million dollars. I don't know, but I'm just saying I would have never.
We said that with Simon too.
That's what I'm saying.
It would be amazing.
I know, I understand what you're saying, where there's smoke to fire, but like I wouldn't have seen this coming, not in a million years, personally.
Again, I can't divulge because private things and discussions happen, but I'll say one more time, like, I'm putting pieces together, and I feel like just looking with the rumors that I know now and other things that I've had conversations about, and I'm starting to go, there's got to be something happening here. But I literally have not been told, and I'm so grateful for that this year.
Yeah.
And I literally don't know, and I haven't had the conversation with Eagle. Again, I'm hitting him up soon. We actually had plans to connect soon to set something up, so that'll be something.
I'm just excited to see, like, whatever happens, whether he signs back or goes anywhere. I'm just excited to see what happens, because he's a high profile name, superstar, I'd say, in our sport. So
we talked about Eagle.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
Chris
Gannon Burr.
Clemens?
It's not really a rumor at this point. I feel like it's a rumor because he hasn't said so. I guess that makes it a rumor, but we already mentioned, so I'll keep it short. Like, we know that he was unhappy at a certain point with Prodigy.
Yeah.
He actually announced that he was leaving. The story can go two ways, and we talked about this previously, like in the middle of the season when this was happening, and I said, wouldn't it be amazing, like, can the relationship be restored? I talked to someone recently who said they were in the same boat as me, just being amazed at how much they now are impressed by Gannon actually completing the contract in a non-dramatic way. Like, actually being able to fulfill what his obligations were. Everything from wearing the logo to throwing the discs. There's been no drama surrounding it from the conclusion of that legal issue. So that being said, does not mean that the relationship is restored to the place of, like, all of a sudden Prodigy's like, here, I'm going to offer you what you're worth. Gannon felt like he was worth something. He obviously didn't feel like he was getting it. Prodigy, I think when we looked through the contract deal that came out in, like, legal land, he would have to actually give Prodigy the first right of refusal, I think. But I don't know if that extends to, like, the end of the contract year. Like, it's maybe if he was leaving mid-season, like, he can't just leave. He would have to say, like, hey, I'm getting an offer. Like, here's the offer. Like, will you guys match that? That's a whole other thing. I think he's moving along. Where is he going? and again, he going as in speculation here, as in we don't know that he's going, but where is he going? Not Discraft. And why do I laugh at that? I just feel like they have a big lineup already. Maybe they want to monopolize, but I don't see him going to Discraft.
Well, I think a lot of people kind of knew where he was going to sign last year before Prodigy.
And everybody was saying Discmania.
Yes. So that'd be like...
People are still saying Discmania.
That'd be my first inkling to be like, maybe just going back, especially with all this like Eagle rumors. That, like you're saying, context clues, it's starting to all make sense. Just seeing everything from the public eye, it's just starting to make sense that like maybe they're letting Gannon come in and letting Eagle. I don't know. But it makes sense to me. I personally don't know where he's going to go. But Discmania, to go back and do it again after he even won 3 more Elite Series, I believe, I think it's a smart move. I could see him going everywhere. I can see him going Innova. I think
that's it.
I think Innova. I think it's Discmania. If I were to guess, Discmania or Innova, I couldn't see him really going anywhere else. Just me personally, not knowing anything. Just personally, I think Innova or Discmania, or maybe, yeah. I don't know. I think that fits his market the best. I couldn't see, or Discraft, I guess, but it's so top heavy that like, it'd be hard to compete with.
If we're playing a game here, like if we had a dartboard, we could throw and just say like take it off the board. So if Eagle's going to Innova, I don't think you're going to have a 2 power player. Like it's funny listing them up there as power players, but they both are really high level players. I don't see Innova taking both. Just that's not their MO. It's not even their MO to really sign a earth shattering deal. I'd be interested to see what they could do there. Right. That's another thing. Like Eagle's worth money.
Yeah.
So Innova, if he's going to Innova, it's big news for Innova to pay up. Yeah. So I don't know. Gannon will find out.
Is there any more? I mentioned Chris Clemens, but like I don't know if anything has prospered or not prospered. I don't even know. Gone on with that anymore. I think it kind of just fell off the map. No one's really talking about it, but
this is kind of a hot take. Why do you change your username before the end of a contract? Like, in all seriousness, if you're like, so Gannon removes Prodigy from his username, if he had it, for instance, like, why do you do that? You do that for a few reasons. Either because you've already discussed it and it's official between both parties that we're done, but I do not see DD being like, yeah, cool, just change your username. Like, they're going to say, no, like, wait it out. Like, we're agreement that we're done, but like, wait it out. Don't do it in the middle because then we might as well, like, the contract's void or whatever, right? I think you do that because you're not happy. I don't even know if that's a hot take, but I think that's why you do it. I think you change it because you're not happy.
Here's the thing. I think every professional player that is climbing the ranks, maybe not at the top, I'm talking about like the Chris Clemens, the Emerson Keiths, for example, just like anyone, all the way to like Connor O'Reilly, who also recently just switched. I think every single offseason they're shopping, whether for new companies, whether that's actually going to happen or not, whether they're just going to re-sign. I think they're shopping because it's the smartest thing to do. Because other companies, you're treated like, oh, it's a shiny new toy. How can this make us more money? Oh, I'm going to offer them this. This can make us a lot of money. And then that person's like, okay, I have this in my brain. I have proof that they're offering me this. Now my existing sponsor offered me this. Oh, you're going to match it? All right, cool. I really liked you guys anyways. I'm going to stay with you. So it could be, I'm not saying it's one of those things. Changing the username is a little weird, but I think every single player, pretty much every offseason, if their contract year is shopping because they want to get paid more, and that's the best way to do it.
I agree with everything you said there. The only thing I'm saying that's missing is the when you change your username. That's the only thing I'm saying, is to do that mid-sponsorship. If I'm sponsored by Walmart. That's who my
That'd be
sponsorship
sick.
would be. The big Starburst or whatever. I don't know. Like, and I have months left. Granted, the season's over, but I'm just like, I change it. I feel like there should be a public announcement with that. And if there's not, it just seems like it's, I don't know, it just seems like it's unhappy. So someone in the chat saying that there's been reports that his van was at Discraft. So there you go. That's a chat thing.
And that's unfortunate because that's it.
That is at Discraft?
No,
Or that he's
no.
unhappy?
That's his only mode of transportation. That's hilarious because it says
Oh.
dynamic disc and like if any.
That happened with James Conrad, dude. Like,
Okay.
When he went from Innova to MVP, people took a picture. They're like, James Conrad is at MVP warehouse.
Because it's so distinguishable and
Yeah.
so obvious that like, and
It's
it's,
pretty-
a lot of
it's
people's
pretty
only
incredible.
vehicle. So like, that's a pretty telltale sign already.
But no marketing's bad marketing. And that's also something that's kind of unique. I feel like I'm not in the trenches with other sports, but unique to disc golf is this whole like hide everything. Don't let anybody know. It has to be a massive announcement. Sure. It just seems like you'll hear trade rumors here or there, like in other sports. And you don't hear, I guess it's interesting because you hear sports talking about all these rumors, where he's going. Everything's rumor. So maybe it's like hush, hush. But
Exactly. That's the weird. That's
part of it is I think the players actually are putting the rumors out there.
But that's the thing. The weird thing is, I think Eagle has done an incredible job of not playing his cards at all. It's his manufacturer that seems to be playing that, which is weird. Maybe they're just like, we want to make money. We don't care if it's revealed that, like, I guess it's kind of like the same as like Prodigy when they posted before West Side, like, hey, we want to like thank Maddie for his time at Prodigy. Like, maybe they're a little bitter that they're like, dude, you're leaving us. All right, we're gonna make money off you.
We just lost Simon.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I think on the Eagle,
They'll have
like,
Kyle Klein.
on Eagle's side, his party has been doing a great job. It's just like when they started, like Disney started shipping Eagle disc, and then the vault was my key to be like, and everyone's key pretty much to be like, something weird is coming up.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Exciting stuff. Just imagine, and it's probably a little bit hard for you too, but Paul McBeth being with Innova for X amount of years. I'm just going to throw a big number out because I don't remember what it is, 7 to 10 years or whatever. A long time of his career. And then the rumors started coming that Paul's leaving Innova, and everyone's like, this is never. Because this was before like $1 million contracts or anything. It's like, no.
Yeah.
And then it happened. So like, it's hard to ever top that. Simon was pretty big. So now we're starting to get a little used to it here. Players doing that. It's still the day and age we live in for people changing up their sponsorships.
But that's the thing. That was the difference between the Simon thing. That was different. Discmania released a Doombird 4
Oh yeah.
while he was leaving. So it's not like they weren't trying to offload his plastic. You know, that's why it's a head scratcher to me, because it's like Discmania seems to be exposing their cards, but for Simon, it was like the rumor mill that exposed the cards, like people that somehow found out about it in some way, shape, or form that was telling it. So it's a little weird, different scenario that like I feel like Discmania wasn't offloading Simon's plastic. In fact, I just bought a Mindbender from Marshall Street, a Mindbender X out. So they're still so Discmania sent it to Marshall Street, and now I just bought it from Marshall. But it was recent. They really just. So maybe that likeness thing isn't true after all, or maybe it was a special contract that Simon was like, yeah, you can offload the rest of my discs without me on the team. Because I did just buy a Mindbender X out from Marshall Street because it was the only one left. And I was like, yeah, I love Mindbenders, and I probably won't be able to get one anymore because he's off the team.
So moving a little bit out of this conversation, but I mean, what does that do for Discmania? Are people still going to be buying their plastic as popular plastic, or are they going to?
They're in a tough spot. I think
decide that like it's not the same as it used to be. Now you don't have Simon. Now you don't have Eagle. If that happens, now you don't have Eagle. But House of Disc is the one who's going to care, and I think they're just trying to decide where they put their cards, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah,
I think they're looking at the companies and they're going like, let's prioritize and let's like. Our portfolio, if you will. Let's focus on where we think it's going to make the biggest impact instead of spreading it out through each of the manufacturers. Like, I think big end game, do they want all these companies, or is their big end game to combine them all eventually. Maybe two.
I think that'd be
Are they going to
dumb.
keep Castoplast? Are they going to
They
keep
should.
West Side?
It's like
Man, maybe.
they should. There's how many like Coca-Cola owns so many things, but they don't name like their Gatorade
Yeah.
Coca-Cola Yellow or whatever. It's just brand. That's marketing in a nutshell. It's just like
But they have 5. Yeah.
But I'm saying they could have this. It could be the same plastic, but the fact that it has a different name and it's special,
it appeals to a different market.
It appeals to a different market, and
I got you.
they're not going to change that. No way. That would be very dumb. But I think Discmania is in a tough spot. Not financially. I just think tough spot that I think they need another star because they've had 2 of the biggest stars on their team for a while. And now if one's potentially leaving, then I think they need that star. I think a lot of their power in brandability comes from that star power. Me personally, I
that's
think
what
a lot
did
of it-
Discmania for the whole way.
Yeah.
UC is obviously a large moving force in the disc golf world. If you don't know his history, like that's a play on words both ways, like his history recently, but also like his history of mine. He did a lot for the sport. And so that was a big part of it as well. We can't downplay that. But I don't know his direct involvement as far as like making the calls now, or is he the day to day? So that'd be something to find out for us to dig into.
Also, Pepsi owns Gatorade. My apologies.
There you go. And then shout out Blake Schaefer Sports, guys. Also LWS Insurance.
LWS Open. Is it the same name
Wait,
this year? again?
Insurance. He's tax, right? Why am I saying insurance?
He's accounting. He's accounting.
LWS Open. Oh, LWS is an acronym, I think, for his son. I just want to see. I'm looking it up here. This is I guess, free advertising. Use him. I used him last year. LWS Tax, Payroll Accounting. If you go to LWStax.com, picture of him with his team.
Oh, he said taxes.
Yeah, there you go.
He
He's in the
commented.
middle. Well, I mean, I used him for taxes, but for some reason, why did I think insurance? That's Leadstone. That's why.
That's why. It makes sense.
It sounds so funny. I'm sorry, dude. I know all this stuff, but I'm just speaking off the cuff. You can see a picture of him and his team. Looks like a fun place to work. You got a spot there, Blake? I mean, maybe I'm not good at taxes, but find out something for you.
Blake, we probably need to get. You probably need to text Blake because he represents, I'm pretty sure, a lot of players. He knows the
Schaefer Sports. So
he
if you
knows
go to
what's
his
going
other
on.
website, Blake Schaefer, agent owner. I don't have a title like agent. They've got others. Nate
No.
Perkins is an agent. Luke Campbell's an agent. They got people on the ground.
Perk doing work, baby. Let's go.
So yeah, I think he probably has an idea of at least his players.
Yeah, but
where they're going. So if I
know
click-
he wouldn't feel.
If I click on athlete, no, he's not. Wysocki, Paige Pierce, James Conrad. That's a few.
notable names,
Yeah.
high end names,
So if you didn't know, Chris Dickerson, Missy Gannon,
high end names.
Jeremy Coling, Nate Sexton, Joel Freeman, Matt Bell, Corey Ellis, Ezra Aderhold, Thomas Gilbert, Ty Love. Those are all players that he is probably pretty familiar with what's happening this year, if anything's happening.
Yeah, I kind of like he gets to know all the contracts, like how much players are actually making because he does the deals. I'm pretty sure that's the whole thing with the agent. You strike the deals instead of like it's like a third party.
Yeah, you don't make the player do it.
Protecting the player from like them being like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like no, they know what they're worth. And
Which
think,
player would do that on his list that I just read?
which player would do that?
I'm just kidding. Okay, so
Me, I would do that.
yeah, so we talked about a few things. It's been a while since I've been on here. Lone Star seems to be having some waves. I've just decided, like, I don't want to be a rumor mill, but I want to talk about the things I see. So I'm not going to like speculate beyond what is reasonable. But like, my understanding is like the team manager is left. I haven't talked to them.
Are you talking about Josh?
Josh.
Okay.
Is that Hosfeld?
Hofstra.
Hofstra. And there was quite a few players changing up. It sounds to me like they're trying to change their portfolio. Things are being. Didn't it feel like that there was a lot of bad? What's the right word? marketing energy because of people, PR or whatever, like the public's response to how the team was made. It was an interesting initial plan. Let's bring everybody that ever wants to throw our disc under the sun. We'll have them be a part of the team. But then a few weird things happen. Like people are like, fine, I'm upset for some reason. I'm going to see if I can sign my dog up, right? And then other people just going on and be like, anybody can get on that team. It's a scam. Like, it's not a team. Like, it started trending that direction PR-wise, right? Did
Correct.
you feel that? Okay, I felt that.
I felt that way, and I think it's just because like I don't think it would have been like that if they just like audited the things more. Like if the like somehow the dog slipped through, that means they probably weren't checking social medias. But I think
I don't know why it's so funny to me.
I think the public reception would be different if maybe they actually audited and got like the people that like would make sense instead of just be like, all right, everyone can come in.
Yeah, so like Prodigy, they have a street team. And they have some criteria that I personally wouldn't do just to become a part of a team. But some people want that, right? They feel like it represents their brand better. It represents their brand better.
And it makes people have a community, which at an amateur level, like some people want that. Some people want to feel part of this community that like, oh my goodness, like I get to throw only Prodigy just like the pros, and Prodigy is awesome, and I get to hang out with other people on the team.
If we were a big enough brand, like really, we could be like, yeah, hey, we'll send you our logo. You can get it, ironed onto your shirt. Team Nick and Matt. That's weird, right? But like the logo could be on there as in like a brand that people know and listen to and like. But for you to be representing our brand on the course, like we need you to give us something, right? Which is always tell people to listen to our shows. You love us, whatever. Hand out our disc golf pins when you're out playing. Like, that's kind of how I see like Prodigy Street Team and like Lone Star. It's kind of like you get to wear our logo, which is an up and coming brand and people know about it. And in return, like you throw our discs and you talk really positive about us. That's just, that's sponsorship ground level 101.
Here's the thing. I think the biggest reason companies like that do that is because you have to buy a majority or bag a majority of their discs. So I think it helps spread awareness, but I think it also helps them in a financial aspect where it's like, if you're only bagging Prodigy discs, you can only buy Prodigy. So if you got that player down, even if it's for a year, that'll help your sales. I think it's smart and great marketing. I think Prodigy does it, I guess, more right, or any other team. Like same with Discraft Underground. I think they do it because they actually audit people.
I heard rumor, and I never dug into it, but that you have to buy, half might be the wrong word here, but you got to buy Prodigy's bag. And like,
I don't know anything about
listen,
that.
Like that's for like, but right. This is my point though. Like, I don't care if they have that criteria because the player is not going to become a part of the team unless they're on board with whatever the criteria is. So like, good for you. If that's how you want to represent yourself on the course as being a part of the team, and that's, you kind of had to pay your spot in, if you will, like that's on you. That's fine. That's not something I would do. But I think going back to Lone Star, it started getting this weird like light turbulence, and then the team manager leaves. We don't hear anything about it. Like, we don't need to. They don't deserve to. They don't have to tell anybody. But like, and then they're changing up players. I don't know. It's interesting at the very least. I hope the best. So
Chandler Kramer announced that he will no longer be on the team, and he was like a guy that was like, that's a Lone Star guy. Like, I think of Chandler Kramer, I think of Lone Star.
He showed what his playability was at the European Open, and we're all like, who's that? And he's like, oh, he plays for this little team Lone Star, before anybody really knew it. Not like a top 20 player or anything like after that, really. Great player.
Still a solid player.
Yeah, but I'm talking like who gets the limelight. Like usually it's the top 20 people.
Yeah.
So like he could be great and he can deserve to be on tour, but I'm just saying like, and he helped Lone Star get where they are.
Originally, yes.
But, and the fact that he said like the way he said it sounds to me like that was a they weren't welcoming me back type of statement. That's what it came across to me like.
Yeah.
When you read it that way, it's not like, hey guys, I decided to go somewhere else. It's like I won't be re-signing.
There seems like there's
Something's going on,
inner
dude.
trouble.
That's what I'm
that like
saying.
where like upper management, like let's say the House of Discs of Lone Star, like whoever upper management is doing some things that people don't agree with, and it's getting a little trouble. And I think it all stems from this team, I guess, because that's the first time when I started hearing bad things about Lone Star. Before, I was like, oh, Lone Star, cool little company. Like, you know, they make their own plastic. It was an oil family. But once they accepted everyone to their team, that's when I started hearing more kind of drama. And I heard there was drama in the team Facebooks that people that got accepted would stir up drama. Well, they posted it on their Instagram. Okay. Like, we at Lone Star
don't support
or whatever.
this,
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like that's just what happens when you don't audit. It's just like I heard they were talking crap about discs in the Lone Star. This is just like, I guess like I got a little more insider view from just like one of my buddies, but it's just like it's just like, yeah.
So
something needs to change.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Again, disc golf is small. Evan Kearns always tells us that. He's like, dude, disc golf is small. Like, as in like the community, especially at the business side of it. It's like, it's interesting. Do you have that little can of wax over there?
Oh yeah, dude, I've been playing with it all day.
So this is not an advertisement, but kind of is. We have DG Max Wax here, and we love them. Look at it. This is the fire. That's the summer. I'm going to open this up. This is the season to be giving, and maybe I should just like give free ads tonight. But there's the Winter Blend Max Wax. I do love
smell it from here.
Oh, it smells great. We always talk about the smell. Anyways, I think you can go over there and purchase some. Maybe in time for Christmas. No guarantees. I haven't talked to them in a little bit. But this one is another version. Yet to fully try it out.
It smells.
No gimmicks.
I will say it smells great.
The marker grip bar by Drive Bags, and the reason why I'm bringing it up now is Drive is in the chat.
It smells great. I keep playing with it and while I'm talking, so pretty cool. Same idea as Max Wax, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, that's something I've yet to fully try out, but it's made it here. Thank you for that. Saw you down at USDGC. Appreciate the love. Hooking us up. We also had another interesting product. Remember, was it in the chat that this came up?
Yeah. So yeah, in the chat it came up. I forget exactly what it was for. I think it was when Simon was on, right? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I was talking. That's right. I showed a video that I found on like social media where this guy was doing the javelin training, and he had this rig where he could like slide his arm up and down, like strengthening. I said, maybe that's good. This guy chatted and chimed in, and I cannot give a review on this yet besides like standing at my desk and trying this, but this is also free advertising. This is the season
of giving. So
if you want us to talk about your product, we'll probably make you pay for it. But right now is a lucky night. It was sent. If you ever send stuff to us, you never know when it makes it on. But this clips on, locks in place, and everyone that's looking at it thinking this is wild, you're not alone.
It is a little wild.
I'm not like endorsing, but I am going to try. So you can hold it, and it looks funky, but it's weighted like significantly. I forget what the full weight is here. It's got to be a hunt. Let me see. It's stamped here. No.
And for our audio listeners, it's basically just a chip bag clip.
Yes, good
with
call.
A giant weight on it that you attach to your disc.
And it locks in place, so you could actually, as long as you don't let the disc fly from your hand, you could actually give it like a solid like warm up, if you will, without letting it go.
The idea is like a donut on a baseball bat where you throw it a few times and then it gets to your arm quicker. Cannot confirm yet if it works, but Matt and I will try it on the tech disc, see if it gets our MPH.
Yeah, I wanted to try it with tech disc to see if it changed anything of just like warming up with it and then throwing, and then obviously doing it without that. I think there's a video out there on this. I was just trying to see from the messages if there's any details on this. We'll probably get reached out to later on what this weight is. But if I had to guess, It's got to be 150 more grams. It's something. So anyways, it's just for
definitely considerable more.
It's for warming up your throat. Think of a baseball bat with the weights on the end, and then you just unclip it, and then just rip your drive.
Oh, you know what? We should do a products episode.
That's what before the show. That's
No. But I'm just saying, just like one where it's a whole episode off season reviewing products. So if you have a product,
just ship it to us.
Reach out to us. We might do a whole product. Maybe. Yes. I'm not.
Usually,
not
and here's why
guaranteeing
we
anything.
can't water down other people's advertisements.
But
like,
it would be fun.
But if
to
we
see,
do a
like,
special
episode,
there's something
cool.
we could probably come up with.
Like,
we'll see
what we think of it.
And yeah, when Simon did that, do you remember when Simon said, like, if you want to send me like a Christmas gift, like, here's the address, and then it was like crazy.
No,
he got like 100 and something like gifts in the mail, like actual gifts, and he had to open them for Vlogmas. It was really interesting.
No.
So we could do something like products or whatever. We'll figure that out. Let us know if you're interested in sending us something. Get it sent to us sooner than later, because if we ever decide to do it and we have them around,
we're gonna. That'll be an off-season special. So get it to it. Just DM the Nick and Matt Show on Instagram. And
all right.
We'll get it to you.
A little off topic, but we've given the people what they want. Another episode. So here's the episode. Did you have a game you wanted to do?
Yeah. I have a game.
You don't feel
for
like
you.
it's worth it. You feel like it's worth it.
I feel like it's worth it.
Okay, then let's do it.
We could stop.
I don't have music, so
that's fine. We could stop whenever you think is.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Is fine.
Can I eat a sour punch bite while you do the game?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
So, maybe chat. I did this game like 7 months ago. I'm just re-spinning it, doing it again because it's Innova Disc Tour Series. I am going to list the, I guess, plastic, and then you're gonna tell me whose disc it is for Innova. So, like, let's just say, I'll just give you a softball. Glow Halo Champion Firebird.
Nate Sexton.
Yes. All right. So there you go. Softball.
No, that was a disc. I'm glad you laughed.
All right. So let's go with Glow Halo Star Boss.
Big Germ.
No. Tricked ya. David Wiggins. Unless they have the same thing.
I don't know. If he has the Halo.
Germs is a Halo champion boss.
Oh my goodness.
So the Glow, gotcha.
You see, Innova came out with the Glow Champion Zephyr.
Yes, I did see that.
Almost went for it. But
They've
I have
been
a
begging
Zephyr.
for it. All right, so let's go with Glow Halo Star Juggernaut. Chat can play too. I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of.
So should I answer so quick?
Yeah, I forgot about.
I'll
that.
answer quick. Double G.
No.
What? Okay, it's okay. Juggernaut is a disc that he promotes a lot.
Really?
It must be a different plastic. This is the hard part.
Joel Freeman. I think Joel Freeman's the only one with the Juggernaut.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's go with. I'm trying to give like kind of easier ones.
Yeah, no, this is fair.
So
if I get them right, I'm
obscure.
amazed. Honestly.
Some of them are so obscure.
Oh, Drive Bag says the D clip is 180 grams. So there you go. So 180
sweet.
plus 180, you're at like 400.
Let's go. Gummy Champion Rhino.
Oh, thank you for that one, Calvin Heimberg.
Yes.
They just came out with that because of Player of the Year.
All right. This one they also just came out with. Let's see if you've been paying attention to the Innova's ads. Halo Nexus Leopard 3.
Oh man, it is Schultz, Barry Schultz.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. That was very impressive.
I'm glad you were impressed. I was sitting there going, maybe, yes.
Let's see. So this person we had on our podcast, and I brought the disc to show her that, or I think I said her. Darn it.
It's okay. It's okay. Here we go.
Champion Glow T-Bird.
Really? I want to say that's like a Jennifer Allen disc.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that, but I'm like, it's not
All right,
Haley.
We'll do two more.
I didn't think it was own.
Pro Color Glow Pig.
Ooh. Old Ricky Wysocki.
Yes. In a way.
Pro Pig? You said Pro Pig.
Color Glow.
Color Glow.
Hold on, I gotta go back.
Is it Pro?
Pro Color Glow Pigs. Yeah, so Color Glow. Pro Color Glow. Pro Color Glow. Pro. Say that 10 times fast.
Dang, I don't know. It's not Barsby.
No.
It's not Calvin. I am brain frozen. Give the people what they want to know.
It's Bradley Williams.
Oh my goodness. Why didn't his name pop into my head?
All right. And we'll do one last one. This one's kind of...
Oh, everyone knew that too. And I'm just sitting here
really
quiet. Yeah. The chat, I mean.
Good job, we'll do one last one.
Wyatt Mahoney. Overthrow, says Robbie C.
That's funny. Shout out, Robbie. Halo Star J.
Halo Star
J.
I'm going to say Haley, but I don't know if it's the Halo Star version. I think it's Haley.
Yes, you're way too good at this. Holy. All right, one more. Halo Star Roadrunner.
My son Hunter, if he's listening, he's probably proud of me right now. He's like, Dad, I can destroy you. This. And he can. Okay, what was it?
Halo Star Roadrunner, last one, because he did way too good.
Road Runner. Because I did way too good. Why is my brain stuck on Roadrunner? I'm going to have to say... I don't know. I could be a Barsby disc. But why do I feel like... Own Scoggins.
That was a good guess. No.
Oh, I feel like I remember that.
Juliana Corver. That was a good guess, though.
I remember when Innova came out with it, and I don't remember why I thought it was Own.
Own has,
to stable it up a little bit.
Leopard. I think I just checked. I think she has like a leopard.
Like Own throws super overstable. I know that. But she also can do hyzer flips, and I thought maybe that'd be the right one. But there you go.
Halo
Good job,
Star
Juliana Corver. That was fun.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, something quick and simple.
Yeah, easy for the people to figure out. So
I can come up with more games too.
You're the game man.
Off-season games.
So, also in the title of our show, it says McBeth still moves plastic. So, why did we write that? Well, again, going to the fandom survey.
Do we not know?
Yeah, why? We just had to put Paul McBeth's name in the show.
Why did we write that?
No, I was looking at the fandom survey again. Which players have people purchased of a tour series or signature series of a player? It is arguable, based off of the fandom survey. It's not. Yeah, it's arguable that Paul is like moved down the ranks of favorite player. But
yes,
in that discussion when we were reviewing the fandom survey, I had a take that it's not because he's not people's still favorite player. It's just the way that survey worked out to where
it's opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. The way people answered that based off of how they were feeling with the season at hand, etc. Because I think Paul actively is still a lot of people's favorite player. And this stat shows that it's true. Only second to Simon Lizotte, which, yes, by 13% or whatever it is. But he was the second most purchased disc or a signature series with Paul on it out of the fans who took the survey.
So here's the thing that...
So whether he's your favorite player or not, people are purchasing it. And he has a lot of discs out there.
Here's the thing I'll say about that. I think part of that is because like the Paul McBeth line for Discraft is that disc. Does that make sense? Where it's like, if you buy an Athena and love the Athena,
it's his disc.
It's his disc. So
but were they answering that way? Because it says Tour Series, Signature Series. Are all of Paul's discs signature series?
I think I'd consider that a signature series. So I think he's...
if that's what they meant, then yeah.
I think we're going to keep seeing that trend because it's just like naturally, if you like an Athena or Hades or Zeus, you're buying Paul's disc and you're supporting him. And I think we're going to see that trend now with the Simon line. I think Simon, even though he's the most popular disc golfer, like fandom wise, I think once he has that Simon line now with the time lapse and he's releasing another disc, that I don't know if it's revealed yet. I think it is revealed, but I'm not gonna say it. I think it is. But
he had a weird little vlog thing going on the other day. Did you see the Photoshop on his stack of discs?
No, but
no,
I didn't see it. But like it's gonna be more common for like that stat to be really inflated by people who have their own line of discs. That
I agree.
same with like, let's say like the Ricky Destroyers. Like every time you bought a stock sim Destroyer, it was Ricky's stamp.
The problem is Ricky moved on and loses that.
Yes.
Ricky still doesn't have a line in the way that Simon has a Simon line.
Pixel is cool to talk. Okay, yeah. So the Pixel,
And Paul has
putt.
his own line. This is a hot take, and I'm ready to drop it to get the discussion started. Paul McBeth's line of discs is better than what other, and don't call it is Discraft, but let's call it Paul McBeth's, okay? Like his specific line, let's just call it Paul McBeth's. It's better than what manufacturer?
Oh, I can't. You're putting me on this. I can't be saying that.
Why? Because you run an expo?
Correct.
Yeah, but you're not representing them.
I know.
They're
but, like,
representing themselves. Come on, man.
I can't say that.
I'll say it.
Yeah, you can say that. Just because.
But this is personal
It's
preference.
tough.
I'd be interested in the chat because then people are going to be like, well, because I like his discs, like, of course they're better.
But also
That's tough. It's purely based off.
I think it's because
it's tough.
Discraft also has a standard of quality that, in my opinion, they've been doing so long that has like a certain quality that like they kind of got it under control.
It is there.
So it's tough to compare like a company that may be like only like 2 years in, like even though it's Paul's line, he's not the one who makes it. It's Discraft's discs. So it's really tough to like make a comparison with that. What would you say?
But that being said, like they're unique molds.
Yeah.
Like, so it is Discraft's molding them and using their process, but like it's unique molds. And the molds that Paul has can go up against right now a lot of lineups as being like really good. And I only throw the Onyx. I really like the Onyx ESP. And besides that, I actually don't throw any of his others.
I don't throw any personally.
But the marketing of them, obviously people buying them, I'll just say it this way. The numbers seem to show, besides obviously what Simon did, that like people love those discs. Because even if they're not buying it because of his
they
Paul,
love the disc.
Because I was just gonna say, because
it's a great disc.
If Paul dropped in the fandom, he still was at second place, but he's still at the top for most disc purchased with his name on, is what we're saying. Yeah. And we're saying what you were trying to say here, I think, is that people didn't necessarily buy these discs because it's his signature series.
Yes.
They like the disc and his name's on them, so that's why he's number 2.
And it's his disc. Yes.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing.
I think if Paul comes back next year and has a healthy season,
Luna's,
I don't see like his like. I think his fandom score is going back up. I think disc golf's so fickle and recency bias is insane. Like Paul had a rubber season at the beginning and then got injured, so that people are going to be like, it's like this shiny new toy. Like I was saying, like, oh, Calvin or Isaac. Like I think Paul still is very popular, like one of the most popular. It's just I don't think people, when they were taking the survey, they didn't hear much from him this year. So I think it was just like recency bias type of thing. I still think.
They're like, yeah, I guess I did buy a disc with his signature on
same
it.
with same
Do you
with
think
Ricky.
it was one of those?
Same with Ricky though. Same thing happened to Ricky, where it's like Ricky was hurt in the beginning, didn't really do anything. I think he won one DGPC event, I believe. I think it was only one. And he was on the lower end. He wasn't as like popular as it was last year, and I think it's just there was other people doing better than them this year, and I think winning sells.
Do you think people, when they go to buy Simon line discs, are actively on purpose trying to buy a Simon Lizotte signature disc? That's why they're going to buy the Simon line disc.
Yes.
Yes. When they go, this is where I'm kind of getting with this. When they go to buy the Paul McBeth disc, based off of what we saw in the fandom survey, they're going to buy Paul McBeth disc because, and this is my take, they think the discs are fantastic.
And here's my take.
And obviously they like Paul. I still think there's a lot of people who have him as their favorite, but my point is they're not like, I have to go buy the Paul McBeth disc.
Here's my take. I think that will happen to Simon eventually. I think the time lapse is Simon's first Simon line disc ever. when the Pixel comes out, it's going to be the second. I think there's going to be huge hype there, and people are going to buy it just because it's Simon. But I think 2 years from now, 3 years from now, people are going to be bagging them because they like the disc, not because.
I guess I wasn't
Simon.
trying to make that point in that direction, but what you're saying is accurate. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with that. It's early on for Simon. But I guess my point is like I'm going because I want to buy that disc versus like I want to buy that good disc. And Paul is still ranking up because he has a product that is just really, really well.
Really, yeah, he's a smart.
This is all part of his plan.
Man, yes, super business move. He'll be
all part
hopefully
of his
making royalties off that for the rest of his life. It's a very good move on him.
So with that being said, people are in here chatting up like, oh, people everywhere have the Luna, and the Luna is everywhere, dude. Like I see people putting with it everywhere.
It's a great putter.
Everywhere.
It's a great putter for some people.
And I'm not sure like this fandom survey stat that has him as being second behind Simon is just basing it off of disc sales. I think it's literally like, that's what I'm trying to ask. Is it like, oh, he sold, 100,000, like people are like, oh, everyone did. Or is it literally someone in here saying, yes, like I bought his signature series disc? Like,
yeah, I think it's that. I don't think
it's not like quantity
access to disc sales. I think it's like, yeah, I have a Hades in my bag.
That's what I think people answer this. They're like, yeah, I bought one of his discs. So I don't think it's like quantity.
Technically, Paul only has one tour series, and that's the Luna.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure with all of Discraft, technically like tour series where it's like Ezra's is the nuke and Coriolis is the force.
We got a fan in the chat, a fan of Paul McBeth, maybe. Zeb. He says, I'd say Paul's line is better than at least 3 companies' entire line. Now that's the hot take I was looking for. I'll put that in the title. Chatter says Paul McBeth line better than 3 other companies. But like, again, I think it's interesting because it's kind of unfair because you probably like the disc if you're saying that, or else why would you say that? So it's going to be skewed. But if you had somebody totally objective that could come in and look at disc quality, how they throw, knew nothing about them, and obviously this is like imperfect and you can't do that. I wonder what they'd say, but I think they'd say they're great. All right. But the reason we brought that up is because Simon obviously has number 1. He just really stands head and shoulders right now above everybody. Paul was not far behind that. And I just thought that stood out interestingly based off of how he had fallen down the fan survey, which is nothing to worry about. We'll see what happens here with his shoulder and next season and a baby and being an awesome dad and being a touring player.
And being a good guy. Good guy, Paul.
Good guy, Paul. Perfect.
I think Simon's like I think is a Simon being so high is just like a testimony to how important branding is and why so many companies are looking for people that are like on social medias and all that, because he started early. He's been posting for YouTube for I don't know like 7 years and has been very popular, plus the wins and being that good. It's like he has the formula of the guy. He is the formula of the guy that can sell a ton of discs. And I think the bigger disc golf gets, I think we're going to see a lot more pros like Drew Gibson. I think he's starting to understand that. And I know he had a YouTube before, but now he's like went to Charlotte to collab with Simon and Paul, and now he's like posting every other day. I think players are starting to realize like, YouTube and branding and posting videos is going to be huge in leaps and bounds for your brand and in the end making money. That's my piece.
Yeah. Awesome. We were going to bring on a caller tonight if anybody was interested.
Does anyone have any comment? Text in. Do you have the number up?
We can put the number in the chat because obviously it's only live listeners that are going to be able to call anyways.
Yeah. So text us what you want to talk about, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can also say right now, and then we'll let us know.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just say it in the chat. That's a good point. Say what you want to talk about, and we'll pick the best topic to...
we can drop the number there, too.
To debate you on.
If you wanted to call. We'll do this in the last little bit, if there's some reason you want to get in on it. Put it in the live chat for now.
And this is Matt's personal home phone,
please
so do not blow it up.
Please do not call this all night. We're going to do extremely quick screening calls here. Be quick on the trigger if a phone call comes through.
Oh, Jay Cags, what up? Shout out. I know you.
Yeah, this should work. if people call, we should hear it should go. So there you go. But people are like, what are we going to talk about if we call in? Well, this is the Christmas episode special.
Think of something like a really good topic, something like interesting, and we'll.
Also, this is crazy. Like Nick's not here. Really, he didn't want to get anybody sick here at the show or my house for Christmas season, and he's not sick specifically, as I understand it. But that's a whole nother story. But he's trying to be generously nice to us, and I appreciate that. He's been all around. I don't know if it's secret or not, but like he's been down south.
He's been posting, so it's not a secret.
Hanging out around Dylan and even Climo,
Brooksville. I don't know what's happening in Brooksville. Wink, wink. But sounds like something to do with checkers or chess or something.
And Evan and his wife. This is probably also secret. Dun dun dun. They got a puppy,
Tracy.
So they're busy.
Wait, is it? Yeah, Tracy.
He's probably walking the dog right now.
He's a busy guy.
So there's that. So anyways, with nothing coming in that I can see.
Brian Schwarber said Kale's take on the basket change.
Brian, call us. You see the phone number in there?
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
In there?
Call us right now.
Put the phone number back in. I know you're in YouTube, but somehow you got to save that phone number and give us a ring. But yeah, so this episode was a little bit different. We understand that. We hope you guys don't mind the chill take here for once. If you're new to the show and you've listened to this far, incredible job. We're going to be back soon to our full self interviews with the players. Really inside takes on what's happening there on the tour.
As soon as the season starts.
Yeah.
Or maybe before. Maybe we'll have special guests before. I don't know.
It's possible.
I don't know what the future holds.
Hey, there's a lot. There's a lot. We're still waiting to see. Someone said Eagles going to MVP. You're a little late. Gannon to DD by Jeff Wachowski. All these people throwing out takes here. All right. Well, if no one's going to call us, we're getting close here to wrapping up, and I appreciate it. Actually, tonight's show was actually packed too. I loved it. That was awesome. I was expecting a small, chill show. It was chill on our side. You guys in the chat brought it.
Yeah, there's some great topics.
Yeah. Dude.
I wish I didn't point it out so I can just have this my own little like.
Your own
just
little
every
thing.
time you say dude, now you're gonna think about it. Do. Yo, should we drop Matt saying do merch? Do or just on like a shirt
just me
saying
do. Yeah. I think we covered what we wanted to talk about, and the chat is asking us to talk about things, but we asked you to call in with it. So if you don't call in with it, we're not talking about it. And
yes.
Oh, what did I miss? I got a text. I got a text from someone.
Brian Schweberger cannot call.
I want to hear.
Oh, Overthrow Disc Golf
about your Am Worlds experience. I just qualified, dude. We're calling this guy. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Watch this. This guy doesn't know where.
I think that's JT Cags. That'd be my guess. It's gonna be J Cags, because
Do I know him?
No.
Okay, I'm calling him. You're gonna hear ringing. Maybe not.
Intermen Disc Golf.
Did that ring go? Yeah, that
Get into
hooligan.
Yo, shout Hooligan Discs. Let's go.
We're gonna hear the ringing. I just muted it.
Yo.
Live on the Nick and Matt show. If you want to be.
What up, J Cags?
Is it?
Let's go. It is.
I called it. I knew it. Okay. I knew it because we talked about it at Muldoon.
I am not.
Yeah, we did.
I am not familiar. Have we ever met, Jay?
Briefly, I called you Nick instead of Matt on accident.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, I just disregarded you then. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just messing around.
No, I get you.
So you texted us and you said, I want to hear about your Am Worlds experience. I just qualified. So the qualification you're telling me is, you didn't get the invite yet.
Points.
You just realized that you have enough to qualify. Is that correct?
Right. The goal for the end of the season was to pass 2,000 points.
Okay.
And I just got there.
I have zero idea how many points I have. Let me see.
Real quick, to go off of Lone Star, just to go back, Hooligan Disc also announced that they're no longer going to be manufacturing with Lone Star. So,
that's right.
We forgot to mention that. Just wanted to put that out there.
Right, but how is that going to work? Because the Yeet and the Warbird, they're the same disc,
Yeah, so
right? They're the same mold.
they are the same mold, and I'm not sure what Garrett's gonna do, but I'm assuming that he's not gonna. It's gonna be the same Discmania thing. He's gonna try and replicate the Yeet, which I think is good. I think a mimicked mold is not too good for the smaller company like Hooligan. I think if you have your own mold, I think it'll be better. So I think the move he's doing, for whatever reason he's doing it, I think that will be a plus side. It's gonna suck at first to try and dial it down to get that like the Yeet type destroyer thing, but I think he can make the Yeet even better with a new company if he can dial that in. And it'll
They
be
gotta
better
call
for
me. I'm
him.
an engineer.
You're an engineer?
Okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Product
So-
engineer?
Yeah.
That is interesting. I just looked up my points, and I played 8 events. Yeah, that's a lot. I know. And I had 1,000 points. I haven't been
That's
tracking.
huge.
I haven't been tracking.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I haven't been tracking what it takes to get into Am Worlds anymore because I don't know. I probably won't go out of my way to go just where I'm at in life personally. I think it'd be extremely fun still. But I'm spending the money on my kids to go to Junior Worlds, and that's enough. But
Right.
if they're at the same place like they were last year, I missed it because I couldn't caddy. And anyways, 1,000 points. So you need 2,000 to get in. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, for MA1.
Okay, that's
I believe
mhm.
FA1 is like 100,
Right. Okay, so you got
150
so
or
you
something.
you qualified. Big achievement. Congratulations. And
Thank you.
you're gonna receive.
I was
Go ahead.
I was quantity over quality. I did like 24 events this year.
Okay. That's nothing wrong with that. So you qualified, which means that you're going to receive an invite letter and you're going to be like, yo, everybody, I just got an invite to the World Championship. And it's a blast. So if you wanted to hear my experience, 2011, I played out in Rochester, New York. Shout out to some of the people in the chat here, too. I think Jeff Wachowski and some others were there. Incredible time. And it's not only a dude bro time, but if you're going with a group of guys, it becomes that. We did tents. I camped, and it was disc golf every day, all day for like 8 days straight or something. So if you like disc golf, it's awesome. That's just how I'll say it. It's awesome.
That's cool, man.
Where's Am Worlds this year? I forget.
It's Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't remember the name of the course off the top because it's kind of hidden still. Like the information is not very readily accessible.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And my only claim to fame in the world is 3rd place world putting champion 2011.
That's
Let's
pretty
go.
good. Dang, you.
Wait, didn't you go last year when the tournament, the tornado was going through Indiana or wherever?
Yeah. So if you were asking about that, that's what I'm trying to say is like I went out there for Junior Worlds for my kids.
Right.
Am Worlds was happening at the same time, same place. I was not playing in it. And
Right.
if you wanted to know my experience then, besides the fact of watching my kids play, which is awesome, the weather and the smoke,
I knew that was wild.
horrible. Like,
Yeah.
this is no fault of Nate or anybody else, but just plain and simple. Like, it's going to go down as one of the worst in memory. And that's unfortunate because the event itself was run the best it could be. So there's no knock on the event.
And that was truly extraordinary because it was like tornado plus wildfire smoke at the same time, right?
I'm laughing because I can remember like driving from a course after who knows how long it's been delayed, and then like it's real dark, and then like the roads are flooded and like things are flying everywhere. Yeah, it was incredible. I think they call it I don't know if the right way to pronounce it, but like a Jericho. It's like in between a hurricane and a tornado or something. So yeah, it was crazy. So
well, here's hoping Michigan stays pretty nice for me.
yeah, no, you're gonna love it, dude. Will this be your first major?
It'll be my first major. Yeah, it'll be my first time going so far west too. I'm not the most well-traveled dude, so I'm really excited.
Enjoy, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you calling or us calling you. Appreciate us calling you.
Yeah. Congratulations,
You're welcome.
JT
You're welcome.
Cags, and yeah, I hope you win.
Thanks.
All right, we'll catch you out there
See
on the
you
course,
at the
man.
expo.
Oh yeah.
Catch you later, dude.
Peace out.
I'll be there.
All right, see you there. Bye.
All right, Josh wants to call. He
Who's
said
that?
he has a hot take from Overthrow.
Overthrow?
And Schleebox in the chat.
Does he have our phone number?
More like Steakbox.
Josh, if you hear this, text us. We'll just call you.
Matt Schleebox said it's called a Derico.
Why did I say Jericho?
Maybe he's just toying with us.
No, he's right.
Okay.
But the way they pronounce it is different than Derico. I think they call it like a Dericho or Dericho or I don't remember. What's up, Matt? By the way.
Hi.
Hope all's well.
No, you don't text us. You call that number right now, Josh.
Text which one of you? I thought I sent the number. If you could text this number, I can just bring you right into the show. Someone wrote Derecho.
Derecho. That's Schleebach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's how you pronounce it. So the show's continuing on here. We'll take this call and that will probably wrap it up. So then we'll be close to our 2 hours. All right, here's a call. I'm assuming this is Josh. Let's see. Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show.
Josh.
Who might this
What
be?
up?
Oh, is this? Let me guess. Let's play a game of who is this?
Is it mobile phone?
It is
Oh, it's
a
Josh.
540 area code.
Oh, you exposed him. Doxed him.
What's up, dude? Welcome. This is the upgrade from the chat to the actual chatter.
Yes.
You've made it.
Yes.
What's the hot take,
I made
Josh?
it.
Bring it to us. Or do you want?
What's up?
Is this like? Do you want it to be like a Delilah show where you give us? You give
People
us
don't
a
know.
topic.
Does everyone know Delilah?
I don't know, but you give
Is
us.
Delilah
an
an international? Okay, perfect. Yes.
Where we give you advice on your life.
So what's going on, Josh? Has life been hard? Has the Christmas season got you down?
No, Christmas is around the corner. Got like 30 more lessons until then, but we're good.
Dude,
We'll
you're
make it.
killing it.
30 lessons. He rates his time and his days by how many lessons he has. That's incredible.
So is that, Josh? Is that office space you have because of YouTube? Like it's specifically your YouTube empire office?
Yeah. So we got the office space for a couple reasons, and the retail space was just a bonus. You guys were talking about that earlier, but it's got like a room for like where Mikey edits. It's got like our turf tee pad and the like golf simulator set up. And yeah, so I teach my lessons there. Then we have the retail portion where we like run tournaments and stuff with retail stuff.
Oh yeah, full-time disc golfers.
Good
Good job.
Have you tried, and we'll let you bring your thing here in a minute, but have you tried that D clip I mentioned earlier? Has anybody hit you up about that? What do you think about like training with a heavier disc?
No, that's the first time that I've seen it. And I mean, I was talking to Robbie, and he's got, I hope I'm not spilling beans here that I'm not supposed to not spill, but
Be careful.
We were just talking about like whether training with a heavier disc is good and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't know, they used to make training wizards that were like 220 grams or something crazy.
Putting wizards, yeah.
So Jesse's making some like overweighted stuff. Trash Panda is.
Okay.
So, yeah, I hadn't seen the clip.
I'm gonna send you. Let me see. This is all free advertising for these guys. I hope they don't mind. Disc Golf Specialties Instagram. They had sent me. I'm gonna see if I can find it. They had sent me a Spotify or like a podcast that talks about this idea of like training with like this type of idea, like in all sports, like at the highest level of baseball. Like, what does this type of training do for you? And I thought it was it's like 15 or 20 minutes long. If I find it, I'll send it over to you because I think it was interesting. And that's where this idea stemmed from, I guess. So anyways, that's enough about that. But what did you have? Do you have something to talk about or you just want to hang out?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm happy to hang out, of course, but
cool.
I'm sure that would be way more boring for everybody else.
Hot take? You said you had a hot take.
Yeah, my hot take is I've got a couple, but the one recently that's been on my mind is just how we've got like pickleball that's kind of grown alongside us, and is doing extremely well. And I just can't help but think how when we run tournaments, the fact that we have to give back, like for a C tier, for example, if you spend $25 to join the tournament, I have to give you back as a TD $20 in merchandise, in some, either in players pack or in payout. I have to give you basically $20 back, which never happens in like any other sport. Never happened in tennis tournaments. It wasn't like, hey, you signed up for this tournament, let me give you, 15 cans of tennis balls for your, $40 entrance fee. Like, the thing that you were paying for was to play the tournament and to get a rating. So I think we're kind of putting a bottleneck on the industry by forcing TDs to give out so much script and stuff to stores when that's really a great place to kind of build revenue inside the sport. I mean, if you didn't have to take and get back $20 every player, you could put massive amounts of money to pro tournaments, to paying volunteers for pro tournaments, for spotting and stuff like that, and run some really sick events. But we're kind of handcuffing TDs because they have to pay 85% in a C tier of what they take from players after fees back to them.
This is good off-season talk for sure.
It's a good point.
So if you go back to like year one of Nick and Matt, it's like we actually talked about this, and I think this was back when I thought I was bringing like way hotter takes and I'd cut everybody off. But wait, I still cut everybody off. But in all seriousness, this was a rant of mine. The same exact thing you're saying, and so I'm in agreement with this, and I'll just add on to it. If you want to go run a 5K or a marathon, like, you pay to get in, and what do you get? Like, you're lucky if you get a shirt, right? Like, here's a shirt that says I ran this race. Like, that's it. There's no other anything. And in fact, a lot of people run races without getting shirts, and they pay to run the race, which is like you're running on a road that like the race owners, organizers didn't have to pave, like it's like, to your point with other events, like other sports, it's rare. I'm just echoing what you say. It's rare that you pay to get in and then you expect to get more back. And the argument you'll hear from the AMs who are newer are like, of course they love it, but they're looking at the picture of like, why wouldn't I want this? Whereas like Josh, you, me, I'll include Ben in this, like, we're looking at it differently, right? Like, we're looking at the growth side of the sport. And I frankly fall in line. I don't know if you made the take, but it sounds to me like you made the take that, like, let's not do that. And I'm in full support of that. There are some ramifications, but I don't think they're enough to outweigh not doing it.
So,
right. Sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I think the ramifications are, like, if you get a shirt for like a race and the race is done like really poorly, right? You're not paying for the shirt. There's probably not even by the governing body a rule that dictates that you have to give X amount of money back to the runners.
Let the people decide.
There's no rule in tennis for any tournaments that I ran or any tournaments for anybody that I know that they ran, that you have to, hey, you get a free restringing after this. It's like, no, like, you're going to take their money to restring their racket because they're playing the tournament, and you can raise a whole bunch of money that way. And it's just kind of ridiculous in my mind that the PDGA requires that type of thing. Like, stop throttling the TDs on that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a bad TD and it's a crap event, then people just aren't going to show up the next time you do it. It only takes a couple times.
I am so in agreement with you. Let it work itself out. That's all I'll say about that. Ben, you had something to say.
So, I've always been amazed in disc golf. I was thinking, because it's the only, because my dad and I run, well, my dad mostly runs fishing tournaments from Ben's Tackle Shack, where it's like people pay in, and these guys are all amateurs, but they pay in and then we pay out 100% cash. So I always thought it was so interesting with disc golf. It was like the only sport I knew where, like, I thought these store owners were making bank because they pay you money and then you just give them back store credit, which they're going to use to therefore buy. They have to go back to your store and buy, which therefore will make you even more profit. This is what I thought at first. I didn't realize like the store credit you get, they like sell 20% off to the TD. So it's kind of like a gamble with them. They hope like, you know, they get that money back and then some. That's the whole.
But it's a requirement. This is Josh's point, though. It is a requirement by the PDGA. Yeah, so like you have to do it. Yeah,
so that's where I'm getting. I was just saying, like, I was just amazed how disc golf is so unique in that, and I'm with you on that. I think tournaments are really expensive. I think a lot of the expenses sometimes on the AM site might come because of that players pack, is because people want to pay for it, and I think we could still have it. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think taking that requirement away is huge.
Let a TD decide.
Yeah,
exactly.
let a TD. If the TD, like, if it's just to show up and get your rating event, I'm cool with those. There's a certain point as an amateur where you've gotten your 5th grip sack and you're like 7th exactly mini, right. And it's like, I don't really need this. I'd rather just not pay for these and just hopefully get store credit. Like, that's ideally what I played this for. Hopefully I can get store credit to make my investment back. But I didn't realize that the PDGA forced at least 85%. And I don't know. I think that cap should change. I think it should be TD discretion. And like you said, Josh, disc golf's getting bigger. People are going to decide what tournaments to play. And even if you're a really bad tournament director, disc golf's getting so big that people are still going to play.
To your point though, Josh, and let me follow up because I can't remember for sure. A player pack is not required, but the payout would have to make up for that difference, right? As like a trophy only type thing.
Yeah. So for everyone listening who's not familiar, let's say like we do run $25 tournaments,
right?
Like flex starts and stuff usually.
Yes.
So $25 is the player fee. $2 goes to the PDGA immediately. That helps insurance, and like I'm not mad about that at all. Because you get liability insurance in case somebody gets hit in the head with a disc, all that stuff. And then $3 for me goes to Bedford Parks and Rec. So now that's 5 of the 25 gone. Out of the remaining $20, if you run a C tier, 85% of that $20 has to go back to the player. Now it can go back to the player in the form of player pack, or trophies or payout, but in some way that gets funneled back to the player. So I guess 85% would be, I don't know, like $5-6 off of that. So you're looking at probably like $15 basically goes back.
Mm-hmm.
Has to go back to the players, where I think, or with B tiers and A tiers, it's even a higher percentage, 100%. So there's no wiggle room. TDs who actually, like TDs basically, if they're not retailers, if they're not making the difference between their wholesale and the MSRP on the product, they're basically doing it for free.
Yeah, and I don't think that's right either. I've always heard the opinion I've always had the opinion like, I'm okay with TDs making money off of their tournaments. I think they deserve to, as long as it's well run and not like a cash grab. Like, I'm okay me personally, I'm okay if a TD runs like a 72 player tournament and makes like $200 off it, $300 even, because they put in a lot of time and effort. Planning an event takes a lot.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go further than that. Like, I'm okay with him making 1,000 or 2,000. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And this goes back to Josh's point. And this was a point I made 2 years ago or 3 years ago on the show. If it's a bad event, like, people will not return. And if it was an awesome event and somehow the TD made bank off of it, and it was an awesome event, I'm going back. I don't care how much he made. Like, it comes down to the quality of the event.
But then when people start making money, then they start doing better.
Exactly.
Tournaments and start doing a better experience for all, because it's like,
capitalism.
I wanna invest into this, and it's doing well for me, so I got to keep making it better and better.
Yeah,
right. I think when you take those restraints off, you're gonna get like, people will see through the garbage, right? They'll be able to sift through pretty quickly. This is just a money grab over here. This guy just puts on really bad tournaments, and it's only for the money. This person over here, wow, they put on a C tier, and they got a masseuse out there for the players.
Yeah,
right? They got a whatever. It's like they went crazy with. They're like, how can we actually did that for a tennis tournament one time. It was like $30,000 purse at just a little country club tournament, and my boss brought in a masseuse. But yeah, it's like you can do stuff crazy. You can have you can pay spotters on every hole. Like, how much would you just be happy if that hole that you're definitely gonna lose sight of your disc on, there was a spotter there all day, and somebody paid that spotter $100 to stand there all day? Why not? Like, so there's just, if you take those restraints off, and the people who want to make amazing tournaments, like Brian Barnes says in the chat, he says the best TDs somehow find tons of sponsors. It's like, that's the only way that you can have crazy good tournaments, is you have to fundraise outside of the tournament to put on a really good tournament. It's like, is that how we really want to do this?
Yeah. I got to go back and listen to this episode that we did a couple years ago, but it was very much in line with this. And the sad part, not sad, but I guess whatever, it is what it is. We haven't changed. And for people outside of our sport to hear this, and I don't know if that's where you were going with this, or if you just thought about this in general, but like, people outside of the sport will hear about what we're doing, and they're like, what? It doesn't even make sense.
Right. Mikey played a pickleball tournament, and he won, and he got
a medal. Yeah,
for first place. Yeah. And he's like, disc golf has kind of tainted him. He's like, I don't know why, but I'm like upset. He's like, I just got a medal, and everybody else got like nothing
and no money, like, or anything.
Yeah, right, exactly. And he won pro side. It's like, but that's common. That's common everywhere else. It's so strange that happens in disc golf. Even on pro side, even on even on pro side in some sports, money's not an option.
Well, let me go back to the running. And my brother Josh is an avid runner, and I bring it up often. And I'm sure there's people in the chat who can answer this as well. But you get first place in an average like 5K. Do you win money if you're like top 3? Like, I don't think you do. I think you get something that says your place.
It's tough because I always have loved tournaments that I can win funny money at, because I'm an amateur still, because that gives me my like extra boost to like really compete and like, okay, like let's go.
The medal ceremony, dude.
I don't know. I've always enjoyed, like, I've run tournaments like I haven't personally run. We have this awesome guy that does it for fishing, so I don't want to say I run, but I've attended a lot of these tournaments to help out, and we pay out 100%. So like I wouldn't be able to wrap my mind off of an event to pay where you don't get something in return other than like a pat on the back. Me personally.
Josh, you bring up great points,
but I still think TD should get paid. But I also think that like players should hopefully get something in return, yearn for something. Oh
yeah, Nick talked about this. We've talked this many times. Nick talked about it. He says he loves the trophy, like a great trophy.
But Nick also gets paid $1,000 when he wins.
When he wins, yeah.
So it's like he can say that, but like if he didn't get paid, I don't know. I think he'd have a different opinion.
So Josh, in wrapping this up, actually moving on from that topic, as great as it was, I did see in your little studio there with the turf tee pad that you are trying out a screen that you can throw a disc into, and I'm not talking a net. I'm talking like they do like, what's it called? The golf does it, not Top Tracer, some type of
right. It's an impact screen.
Okay, so you're trying that out, and it's a non-disc golf company. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, it's Carl's Place, and they want us to be very clear at this point in time that they're interested in the space, and we're just testing it to see if it's even viable
Right.
in disc golf. So we're trying it. They're it's certainly not perfect. The screen itself, like after the enclosure and all that setup, which is fairly expensive, especially in the disc golf world, to replace that screen is like $500.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we've been throwing like crazy on it. But yes, to answer your question.
What's your experience with it? You've been throwing like crazy on it. Is it leaving marks and damaging it?
So we use a white disc. In the beginning, we had the screen too tight. You can't keep the screen as tight as it was for golf balls. Like it definitely did.
Dented.
Like the first time we threw it, we thought, oh no, like this just, it's not, none of it's going to work. But then Mikey like loosened the screen and we're like, oh, okay, sick. We're good. His heart like sunk. But yeah, it has like a little bit of initial wear. Yeah, that thing was coming off of it hot. That thing was so, but yeah, it's going well. Our hopes are high, and it's doing fine for us. I mean, we're just at the point where we're considering like the like figuring out, okay, we just pay $500 to replace the screen. At the like worst case scenario, we pay $500 to replace the screen maybe twice a year. Who knows?
Yeah, and the ultimate goal of doing a screen would be to incorporate things similar to what Tech Disc is doing right now, which would be to show the flight of a disc that you had just thrown, right? I mean, that's the ultimate goal.
Right.
Yeah.
And more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And actually,
yeah, I was going to ask, what's the
full-blown simulator.
What's the benefit between net versus screen to you that you've seen personally?
The projection. You can project onto it. Is that accurate?
Sorry, that versus a net? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. I know you said, so sorry, I cut you off when you said simulator eventually, but I know disc golf's not really at that point yet. But I'm saying right now, yeah, screen versus net. What do you think? What's like the pro? Why the screen? What do you think's better about it than just having like a enclosed net setup?
Well, one, our enclosure is massive, so I really don't have to worry about the shanks that are inevitable. But yeah, I think when you get a big simulator option set up there, we can actually pull up we can pull up two screens by two different like browser windows side by side. We've got a sweet movie watching setup.
Yeah. You've been down in my studio, you and Mikey. Yes. I don't know if I had the projector screen down when you're here. I don't think we did. But I have like a retracting projector screen. It's like 100 inches. So it's like, it's a little, it's probably about the same size as like your average throwing net. But like, I am somewhat interested in getting a material that would allow me to throw into it and project onto it. And that's what this material does. It allows you to project onto it.
Yeah, that's like the big plus, I would
say.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, once the simulation technology is there, it's going to be kind of mandatory, I guess, for people. I mean, I think you kind of already see it. Tech Disc went from, okay, there were just like a few of these things around, and then all of a sudden every store has it, and now it's going from every retailer trying to have one for their customers to throw and to get people into their shop to now the masses are kind of getting a hold of it. And I think the same thing is going to happen with the screen as well, where it's going to be like, okay, once the simulator technology hits, then people are going to say, well, now this net in Tech Disc isn't good enough. Now we got to have this simulator set up for our shop and stuff like that.
The shops will probably invest. I would imagine the price point's going to be a little hefty for the average disc golfer, which is fine. But yeah, you're right. It's gonna explode.
That's full circle what we were talking about earlier about the pro shops.
How to get people in your stores. Yeah. In closing here, because we are now at just over the 2-hour mark, which is great. But Josh, you at Overthrow Disc Golf, I always am sending people to your YouTube. I had somebody ask me, I feel like way out of place, but they asked me how to throw farther. And I said, here's some tips. I said, even Tom Brady had a coach, right? Like, doesn't mean he's better at quarterback. So I gave him some tips, some of what I've learned from you guys. But I always send people there. And I think that's where people need to go. So this is a free shout out for you guys. Thanks for coming on. But in that, there's a lot to be said. You're a coach, you don't want to say something that just leads everybody astray. But I had this thought the other day. If I fix nothing about my form as far as mechanics, that's probably loaded. but only my nose angle, should I be able to still throw farther? Like if I fixed only one thing, and I'm not saying that's what I should do, but if I was to fix my nose angle, do you think I'd get an increase on distance? Does that make sense?
I would have to know what your nose angle is right now.
Let's say, okay, well, because I had tech disc. Let's say it was averaging in the 4 degrees positive to 7 degrees being bad. But then like I work on it and I go from 4 positive to actually getting actively anywhere from 0 to -2 or 3. Do you think I would experience a distance boost?
Yeah, I think if you're throwing actually up in like your launch angle
is right.
The trajectory is upward, and you're throwing, you're throwing up. Yeah, you're going to throw further with the nose angle. But really, at the end of the day, the only stat that's required to throw further than you are now is speed.
Yes. I think I was watching some of your videos on that. So we're going to try
I still can't get my nose down, Josh. Oh, my goodness.
He's struggling. I feel like I'm actually dialing it in. But this is fun because we're actually doing a video in part, partnership with Tech Disc. But to just show how working on maybe specific things, thanks to it's, showing us immediate feedback. Like, hey, if I just fix my nose angle, because Matt is a lost cause with this form at this point. Not quite true. But the amount of time I invest into it is probably more of a lost cause. So if I can just fix nose angle and work on that, see what the results are, just to show people how active feedback can actually produce results if you work on it. But Ben's struggling with nose angle. I can't get my RPM up more. I'm starting to do workout now to see if I can get that, and that's an active workout. So there's a lot of things that'll be interesting to see. Are you coming up to the expo, or am I putting you on the spot with that? I don't even know. I haven't talked to Ben.
The ball, I may or may not be coming up to the expo. Details to be determined.
Okay.
But if I get up there, I mean, it might be a cool thing to be around a tech disc booth with you and do a live little demo.
Yeah, and also like
tech disc booth will be there.
I owe nothing to D-Clip here. Literally, we have no agreement with them, but I am going to try some things with that just to see if there's anything at all that comes from it. But yeah, dude, we appreciate you calling in anytime. I love you in the chat there, and appreciate what you guys are doing for disc golf over at Overthrow Disc Golf.
Yeah, brother, it's a blast. I think you guys have the best player interview podcast out there.
Let's go. We're making a new intro.
Honor.
We're gonna snip that out.
Thanks, Josh. You're the man.
we should
don't do it because it's just my audio. They don't want my voice.
Yeah,
guy, Josh.
We should get people
too high pitched.
Yeah, too high pitched, bro. It's wonderful. Everyone's a character, and that's what you are. You're a character, a personality.
Here's the thing: Josh is technically a professional disc golfer because he makes money full time off disc golf. Changed my mind.
That's right.
All right. Well, we'll work on that another time. But Josh, thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you, Josh. You're the man.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye.
Good guy, Josh. Even if you follow Overthrow on Instagram, like they have so much. They go live all the time and like have so much like nuggets that if you like actually sit there and ask questions, like you can basically get a lot of great information that Josh is always just like. Especially on the lives talking about. Sometimes he just goes live and you can get some good little nuggets. But if you want like form review, then obviously you have to go to his Patreon or something.
Did you send Josh the Venmo we agreed to for him to say that? No.
I can do it.
We'll have to get to it.
Yeah. I didn't do the invoice yet.
Okay. Well, Josh, you're not getting anything, but we appreciate that. I don't know what we did to deserve that except maybe have interviews that you appreciate. And we appreciate you. Okay. We made it to 9:40 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, I forgot we started late.
We did start late, but we just gave the people the casual 2 hours and whatever it is, 10, 15 minutes. Just intern Ben and Matt tonight. We are not doing an episode. If you've made it this far, I always laugh at that because I'm like, this is so far in. But if you made it this far, we're not doing a Christmas episode and we're not doing an episode that week. And then it's New Year's Day.
Correct.
I'm like teetering that it's probably not happening. But just stay attuned. We'll try to get something up to let you know if it is or isn't happening as we get closer. We got a lot planned. A lot planned for next season or this season, however you want to look at it. So stay tuned. If you like the Nick and Matt show, we've got more. And
Yes.
we're appreciative of everybody and everyone that listens.
It's only up from here. We're gonna keep trying to grow the show, and thanks to all of you fans who listen. That's the reason we do it. We do it because we love it, and we want to keep going.
Yeah, Nick and Matt show to Barstool Sports. No, I'm kidding.
What?
Yeah, that's the off season. But no, in all seriousness, we appreciate it. Happy holidays, New Year's, everything that you can think of that you think. So did Mass get smacked with wind and rain? Oh yeah. Shout out to everyone who may not be listening in the local area because of the storms that came through. A lot of rain. Ben, my disc golf course is flooded. Like,
Yeah.
legitimate flood. You know where the
No, I saw.
trampoline is? It's
I
just
was-
flowing like a river.
I was at my girlfriend's lake house, just like doing work all day on the expo, and I was literally just like looking outside, and like the lake was flooding, but the ripples and the wind, it was like waves in the ocean. It was crazy.
Hundreds of thousands of people without power. So hopefully for them, they get their power back. Shout out to
George.
you. Good thoughts.
Shout out George and Allison, owner of that lake house. That's all I got to say.
All right, let's close it down. We're going to have to trim the beginning. Like the stream of beginning on YouTube is going to be really bad. So if you're a live listener, thanks for sticking with it. If you're a post listener, hopefully you didn't have any hiccups tonight. We appreciate you all. Tell someone you love them. Nick's not here, but we'll do that for him. And Ben, you're awesome. And everyone else in the chat, we appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
The Nick and Matt Show, a disc golf podcast designed for you, the disc golfer. Find the Nick and Matt Show on your favorite podcast platforms or join the conversation live on YouTube.